well as the many career prosecutors and law enforcement agents from around the country who have worked on previous January 6th investigations. These women and men are public servants of the very highest order, and it is a privilege to work alongside them. Thank you.
Why didn't you charge any of the other co-conspirators in this the election?
Are you planning to bring any other charges against more individuals?
No questions, you dumb bitch.
Hearing live from Special Counsel Jack Smith announcing an indictment against former President Donald Trump in attempts to overturn the 2020 election. The Trump campaign is issuing a statement that reads, "This is nothing more than the latest corrupt chapter in the continued pathetic attempt by the Biden crime family and their weaponized Department of Justice to interfere with the 2024 presidential election, in which President Trump is the undisputed frontrunner and leading by substantial margins." If you missed the special counsel's statement, you can watch it online at cspan.org, and we'll get your reaction on tomorrow's Washington Journal here on C-SPAN starting at 7 a.m. Eastern.
That was pretty perfunctory, but I didn't expect anything else. Oh, by the way, in case you guys thought that was it, this is just the federal government. Jack Smith, special prosecutor, FBI, this is being done in D.C. This doesn't count for state charges. Michigan prosecutors charged Trump allies in felonies involving voting machines illegal testing. There's actually apparently a couple of states that are leveraging charges against specific Jan 6 or election fraud related stuff that took place within their state. It's yeah, Georgia, yeah, it's this is Michigan. Hold on. Georgia Trump court case. Judge rejects Trump's effort to short-circuit Georgia election case. Yeah, they have their own prosecutor for the 2020 election investigation. They tried to stop it, and the judge told them to suck a dick. So that'll be coming up soon too. Dude, Trump's never gonna be able to go to prison because he's gonna be on trial the whole 50. Like his sentence is not to go to prison. It's rather to spend his entire life being ferried between courthouses so that he can have the years he's going to spend in prison theoretically just ramp up increasingly with time. You know. Incredible stuff. What does this mean for the presidential election? Will DeSantis run 100%? DeSantis is probably going to run, but he's not popular enough to win against Joe Biden. He's just not. He will not win against Joe Biden. Like I would give it 2%. I am so confident that DeSantis would lose against Joe Biden that I would call it like 1 to 50. Like so low, you know? Donald Trump has a better chance against Joe Biden. Still not a good one, I think. And, you know, he might just be in prison. He might actually be in prison. What poll, facetious? He's trying to scapegoat his lawyers, too. Trump's plan to save himself, scapegoat his coup lawyers. It's not going to work here. He made his statements televised. It's not gonna work here. God damn it, I can't read New York Times articles. Can the race really be that close? Yes, Biden and Trump are tied. Okay, the Times Siena poll. Hold on, let me see. Thank you, facetious. Much appreciated. There we go. Okay, now let me explain why this doesn't matter. All right? I've said this before, but the problem is that again, Trump supporters are in a cult. People who support Trump are ride or die Trump. They are hardline committed to Trump no matter what he does, okay? The thing with Biden is that because Biden doesn't run a cult, there's a lot more variance and hesitation for people. But Trump doesn't have to work to unite a coalition of disinterested voters. Biden does. And what that means is that, very much like what we saw in 2020, it might seem like Trump has the overwhelming support, but that's because, again, that's cult factor behavior, all right? When the actual election turns out, you see a very different set of results, okay? Of course, this is predicated on the assumption we don't all vote for fucking Cornel West. Blue wave, baby! Yeah, exactly. Trump has a lower ceiling and a higher floor. Exactly. In fact, the ceiling and the floor for Trump are basically in the same place, you know? And polling you're going to see for Biden more than a year out from the election, the floor is going to be relatively low and the ceiling is going to be relatively high. And as it gets closer, it's likely the floor and ceiling will contract and arrive at a position that is higher than Trump's. In fact, I would say the fact that they're tied right now in this poll is actually terrible for Trump, for that exact reason. The floor and ceiling of Trump aren't going to move because these cultists are locked in. But for Biden, they will. And as they both move towards the median, you're going to see the average raise. Again, I can't predict the future, but I strongly believe what I'm saying. I'm not just making shit up. You guys know for a fact that if I think things are bad, I will say that I think things are bad. The poll has a Republican oversample. Does that matter? Yes, that matters. By what proportion? Under image, including an oversample of 818 registered Republican voters. What? 1,329 registered voters, an oversample of 818? It was that disproportionate? So what? 500 to 800 Democrat to Republican? Okay, right, okay, yeah, okay. Guys, I really genuinely don't think Joe Biden has that much to worry about in the presidential. Okay? I genuinely actually think that we can feel relatively secure. I think what we need to be concerned about is the Senate. Senate's what I'm concerned about. Okay, the presidency, less so. The Senate, we need to be concerned about. And the House, of course, but, you know. Did they correct based on national averages? I assume they corrected. They would have had to have corrected, but it's still like a weirdly disproportionate result that can indicate a bias. You know? It also matters how exactly they did the correction. This is regressive analysis stuff. They would have proportioned the answer based on the proportion. It's a whole thing. Okay, I think that does it. I wasn't gonna vote for Joe Biden, but then I saw Hunter Biden's cock. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
that's so true.
That dick could run the country.
This isn't regression analysis. What are you talking about? No, when you take like a proportion of participation within a poll and then you proportion the weight of... Okay, a multivariate regressive analysis is more complicated, but the basic format of a multivariate regressive analysis is that you use a model to proportion out the weight of any given instance within a poll to try to scale it towards another set of weights or qualifiers that you use by determining the proportion. So, no, it's not a multivariate regressive analysis. I just said that flippantly, like regressive analysis stuff, but I mean like they're weighing it based on the disproportionate participation of Republicans in the poll. But it's not literally multivariate. Yeah. Did you change your mind? I thought you said Trump would never see jail time. I will admit, I didn't think Trump would see jail time from the mishandling documents case. This might actually do it. Because again, the sentencing is determined by the judge, and the judge is someone who seems to have an ideological bias towards goodness. So... I might have said regression or regressive. I might have mixed them up, vote night. Multivariate regressive analysis. It's known to exist. Ruben is playing on the cat tree. He's upside down. Does that mean Obama did a good thing for once? Obama has done at least a few good things, but you know, it is entirely possible that this will be one of the most consequential decisions Obama has ever made. The appointment of this judge might end up setting a national precedent that exceeds any prior when it comes to the criminal conduct of presidents and former presidents, or political leaders in general. So we'll see how it goes. We are in extremely untreaded territory here. Joe Biden's polling's been good. Yeah, the aggregate polling that I've seen, this is from 538, the aggregate polling that I've seen has been that he stacks up favorably, like, pretty consistently. 44 Biden to 38 DeSantis. I wouldn't trust that too much for DeSantis. 44-41 Trump. This one has Trump in the lead. If you look at the aggregate, it seems like there's a lot of variance depending on where and how and the details. But also keep in mind what I said about the floor and the ceiling narrowing for Biden as we get closer to the general. We'll see. It won't be especially close either. Oh yeah, to be clear, I think that if Biden runs against DeSantis, it will be a blowout. And I think if Biden runs against Trump, the most likely outcome is a comfortable lead. So my belief, unlike the average or the likely outcome, is not going to be like a close election, you know? Incumbent does have an advantage as well. Wait, a blowout electorally or via popular vote? Both. I mean, I think it would be enough that the popular vote would matter for the electoral. Trump's floor is falling out. Well, that's an interesting question. Will the floor fall? How worried are you about Cornel West voters ruining it? Zero. Cornel West is doing a miserable job of actually advocating for himself as a viable alternative to the Democrats. All I've seen him do so far is cozy up to the right wing. He went on Fox News. He promoted Glenn Greenwald and Cornel West.
Good shit.
Wait, no, he's Cornel West. Promoted Russell Brand and Glenn Greenwald. All I'm seeing is him doing the same, he's appealing to the same like the RFK grip. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to do anything meaningful to Democrats. He did promote Cornel West. That's true. That is true.
The fuck?
Are you shaven underneath your beard? How would one do that? Beard connects. No, I know that Chrome Dome, but it means he's not really meaningfully appealing to Democrats. Do you think Trump is feeling scared, or is he still stupidly confident? No. I think Trump is fucking petrified. I think he's absolutely petrified, for sure, 100%. I think he is. I mean, in the past couple of months, he's seen a bevel of federal indictments, and a bunch of state charges as well that his lawyers seem powerless to stop. No, I think he's terrified. Oh my goodness. You know who's not terrified?
The fuck? Goddamn. Good shit.
Delicious. 2 grams of protein. Okay, folks, I am really over time. I'm only 30 minutes after
kill
normal
these
streaming
birds.
time, but I'm 2.5 hours over what I wanted stream end time to be. However, you know, as reasons to extend stream go, I would say that the indictment of Trump is a pretty good one. I'm going to read the super chats so I don't miss out on them. There are going to be a few side donos that I'll have to get to tomorrow, same as yesterday, but I will see you soon. Rockefeller, thank you for $2. Killer Tofu with the incredibly kind $20. Howdy from the objectively superior city of Tacoma. I've been in Tacoma. I'm happy you believe that. I'm happy you feel that way.
God damn it.
Tuck speeding with the $2. Got to go Toyota RAV4. It's best in this class. I used to drive a RAV4, a friend of mine's. It handles pretty well, yeah. I Cyclops the $5. Buy a
I'll
Subaru
need a few
Outback,
more.
cargo space, legroom, safety. I just don't like. I just don't.
Good shit.
It's not a bad car, right? Subaru Outback is good. It's just, I'm not a lesbian. I feel like it's cultural appropriation. I do like this thing on the side here, though. I like it when there's a bit of black blocking that isn't like the default color profile. You know what I mean? Atheist Jewish and shy with $5. He's gonna pull the frail old man card and fake a heart attack. Maybe we'll see. No, still alive. We did not find the word sedition in the indictment. Sedition is not one of the charges being brought, but I'm still happy with how things are going. All right, folks. I love you all very much. It's been a delight. There are a couple of things that I would like to do before I end the stream, though. The first is going to hit the ad button. To those of you who have not been hit by the ad button, there are two things that I would like to promote, okay? The first of them is Sweet Myths. Making sure I'm not rolling over the baby. Sweet Myths is the excellent band who tours in San Diego, a city that I've been to, that made the Vosh Rad song that plays when you open my channel on YouTube. It's the trailer song. They're fantastic. And they recently put out a new EP, like a mini album, and I drew the cover art. And look, they made it go wiggly. I love it that it do be wiggling.
The spell I put you under tells me that you're lost.
And I think they're cool. And I drew a big dude for this, which I tried my best. I'm not an artist, but I tried my best. So I want to promote them, and I think you should follow them because they're great. And Holic Master is always in chat and is an ally with the stream. And I also want to shout out the boys Cold Cuts, who I refer to sometimes as the Cum Boys, despite that not being what they're called. They put out a fuck ton of content, and oh look, it's me. Oh, this is fucking me right there. You see that? I record with them a lot off stream, which means that if you go and watch their content where I'm in it, that's me that you haven't seen, that you can't see. From
Good shit.
Because I'm not streaming when I do it. And I was gonna
Did that all real nice.
but yeah, Cold Cuts good. Like. Okay, I love you guys very much. I am going to. I'm gonna get some food. I'm hungry, man. That's what I'm gonna do first. I think that's my first step. I think that's the first thing I want to do. Who am I hosting? Let's find out. Keffel? Is Keffel streaming right now? Let me see. Keffel's is streaming. I can check here, can't I? If I click Keffel's, and then I click that, it says live if they're live. Alright, well that seems live, be live. But it just, okay, so Keffel's is just starting right now, I see. Alright, well then you guys get to see a Keffel stream from the very beginning. I'm gonna host them. I love you guys very much. Thank you for sticking around. As always, I will see you guys
Fucking
tomorrow.
birds, goddammit.
It's been a delight. Every day that I spend with you is a day of unrecruited joy.
There's a
Wish me
birds.
luck in everything that I do for the rest of the day, even eating. You know, it's possible to fuck that up. Sometimes people choke and die, but I have no plans to. Have fun, say hi to Keffels, and I'll see you soon.
More birds. Nice. Jesus. Good shit. God damn it. Where the fuck you go? Shit, T-Rex, Triceratops. Shit. Where's the T-Rex? Shit. Damn. Good shit. Nice. Oh, I forgot this.
FBI agents were at Mar-a-Lago to collect boxes, here's a legal pro tip. If your videotapes have been subpoenaed by the Department of Justice, don't immediately engage in a criminal conspiracy to destroy those tapes. It's not the crime, it's the cover-up. Except here, it's definitely the crime. But also, it's definitely the cover-up as well. Yes, as the world was waiting for Donald Trump to be indicted in Washington, D.C. and Fulton County, Georgia, Special Prosecutor Jack Smith had a surprise up his sleeve. Namely, 3 additional criminal charges against Trump in the case alleging mishandling of classified documents in Florida. A grand jury has now indicted Trump and 2 of his employees, for pressuring a Mar-a-Lago employee to delete security footage that had been subpoenaed by the government. The superseding indictment explains how the two Trump employees, Walty Nauta and newly charged Carlos de Oliveira, attempted to delete security footage because, quote, the boss wanted a server deleted. The new indictment also charges Trump with willful retention of national defense information for the time up in New Jersey when he showed a classified document to random civilians.
See, as president, I couldn't be less. Now I can't, you know, but this is classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
So let's dig into the new indictment. The superseding indictment is a formal criminal complaint brought by a grand jury to replace the original indictment. This usually happens when there is new evidence that warrants an additional charge. And there's no such thing as an amended indictment. To add charges, prosecutors must go through the same process as the original indictment, which means a grand jury must weigh the new evidence. And once the grand jury returns a superseding indictment, it replaces the original indictment. And that's what happened here. The superseding indictment adds more facts to the original allegations, starting with the description of Mr. de Oliveira, and then going into a new section entitled The Attempt to Delete Security Camera Footage. And as always, these are unproven allegations from the DOJ. They have not been proven in court, but also, again, given the volume of verbatim quotes, it definitely seems like the DOJ is acting like they have the goods. And according to the new indictment, on June 3rd, when FBI agents were at Mar-a-Lago to collect boxes, they observed surveillance cameras near the storage room. On June 22nd, the government emailed a draft subpoena to Trump's lawyer. The subpoena sought footage from the ground floor where the boxes were being stored. The next day, after being tipped off about the request from the government, on June 23rd, Trump called de Oliveira and they spoke for 24 minutes. On June 24th, the Department of Justice sent a final subpoena to Trump Attorney Number 1, which sought, quote, any and all surveillance records, videos, images, photographs, and or CCTV from internal cameras. At 1:25 p.m., the lawyer called Trump about the government subpoena.
And then what about surveillance cameras? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with, like, are those yours? Yeah. Why can't you clear them? I don't understand that.
The phone call from the lawyer to Trump establishes that Trump was on notice that he could not destroy or delete any material that was responsive to the subpoena. At 3:34 p.m., an unnamed Trump employee, referred to as Trump employee number 3, texted Nauta and told him that Trump wanted to speak with him. Although Nauta was scheduled to travel with Trump to Illinois the next day, Nauta changed his schedule and traveled to Mar-a-Lago instead. And the indictment says that Nauta, quote, provided inconsistent explanations to his co-workers for his sudden travel to Florida. And of course used the shushing emoji, which might as well be the official mascot of criminal conspiracies. Now, on the night of June 24th, de Oliveira and Nauta texted an unnamed Trump employee who was director of information technology at Mar-a-Lago. And as you can see from this exchange, the three bros chat about their plans for the weekend, requesting that the IT director, Yusil Taveras, help them out on Saturday. And from the indictment, it reads, at 5:02 p.m., Nauta sent text messages to Trump employee 4 asking, hey bro, you around this weekend? At 5:05 p.m., Nauta texted de Oliveira asking, hey brother, you working today? De Oliveira responded, yes, I just left. Nauta then called de Oliveira and they spoke for approximately 2 minutes. At 5:09 p.m., Trump employee number 4 texted a response to Nauta, quote, I am local, entertaining some family that came to visit, what's up? Nauta responded to Trump employee number 4, okay, cool, no biggie, just wanted to see if you were around. Enjoy, bro. At 6:56 p.m., de Oliveira texted Trump employee 4, hey buddy, how are you? Walter called me early, said it was trying to get in touch with you. I guess he's coming down tomorrow. I guess needs you for something. Trump employee 4 responded, he reached out, but he didn't say what he wanted. I told him I was local, but entertaining some family that came from NYC this weekend. He told me to, no worries. At 6:58 p.m., Trump employee 4 texted Nauta, bro, if you need me, I can get away for a few, just let me know. Nauta responds, sounds good, thank you. On Saturday, June 25th, de Oliveira told a valet at Mar-a-Lago that Nauta was flying from Bedminster to Florida, but he needed the trip to be secret. And despite the very cutesy nature of this project, de Oliveira couldn't help but tell the valet that Nauta had tapped de Oliveira to do an important job. Talk with the IT director about how long security footage was stored. And shortly after Nauta arrived on June 25th, he and de Oliveira went to Mar-a-Lago. They entered the security booth where the security videos are shown on monitors. The two defendants took flashlights into the tunnel where the storage room was located, pointing out the security cameras, the cameras which presumably recorded their little excursion pointing out the cameras, which was probably really handy for the prosecutors when they presented this evidence to the grand jury. Now, on Monday, June 27, 2022, de Oliveira summoned the IT director to a basement tunnel and then walked with him to an audio closet near the Gold and White Ballroom, which we've talked about and made fun of at length here. Now, de Oliveira told the employee that, quote, the conversation should remain between the two of them, and that obviously clearly worked here, but he asked the employee how long the servers retained the surveillance footage. When the IT director said 45 days, De Oliveira told him to delete the video. Quote, De Oliveira told the employee the boss wanted the server deleted. The IT director, quote, responded that he would not know how to do that, and that he, quote, did not believe he would have the rights to do that. The IT director said he would need to hear from one of Trump's business security guys from the Trump organization to fulfill that request. De Oliveira repeated that, quote, the boss wanted the server deleted. De Oliveira then said, what are we going to do? Now this is pretty obvious, but given that the IT director, Tavares, is not named in the indictment and is the only other witness besides De Oliveira to some of these conversations, it probably means that he's cooperating with the DOJ and is providing testimony. And a bit of advice, if someone ever tells you to delete files at work, regardless of whether there is an actual known federal investigation at your workplace, your answer should be, can you please put that request in writing?
No one will ever know.
No one will ever know. You sent me to shred the records of off-book hush money and illegal intimidation.
So after this exchange with the IT director, De Oliveira did know what to do. He called up Walt Nauta. And after a text and a chat, Nauta texted De Oliveira, on my way to you. De Oliveira traipsed through the bushes to meet up clandestinely, he thought, with Nauta at an adjacent property. De Oliveira then hiked back through the bushes at Mar-a-Lago and went to the IT office before returning to the other property to meet Nauta. Again through the bushes. And then later that day, Trump called De Oliveira and they had a 3-minute phone conversation. In July of 2022, the government got some of the footage that was in response to the subpoena. And on August 8th, the search warrant was served. And then the indictment goes on to explain what might be witness tampering. Paragraph 91, just over 2 weeks after the FBI discovered classified documents in the storage room in Trump's office, on August 26, 2022, Nauta called Trump Employee 5 and said words to the effect of, someone just wants to make sure Carlos is good. In response, Trump Employee 5 told Nauta that De Oliveira was loyal and that De Oliveira would not do anything to affect his relationship with Trump.
I expect loyalty.
That same day, at Nauta's request, Trump Employee 5 confirmed in a Signal group chat with Nauta and the PAC representative that De Oliveira was loyal. That same day, Trump called De Oliveira and told De Oliveira that Trump would get De Oliveira an attorney. Now, presumably, Employee 5 testified independently about this. That PAC representative appears to be Susie Wiles, who's had multiple meetings with DOJ. And I imagine a criminal conspiracy perpetrated via a group Signal chat probably violates the independence that PACs are supposed to have with political candidates. And I kind of wonder where those super PAC funds have been going and for what purpose. I don't know, it looks bad. And then there's also the pool flood incident that happened when the investigation was mostly stalled because of Judge Cannon. It appears that De Oliveira was the one who drained the pool at Mar-a-Lago, which subsequently flooded the room where the surveillance logs were stored last October. And that would suggest that the flooding was potentially an intentional part of Trump's cover-up. Now, we can't be sure, but Legal Eagle has acquired exclusive video footage of those employees attempting to bypass the server's security measures to erase inculpatory evidence. Now, as you can probably already tell, Trump and his valets are going to need a good lawyer. Now, if you need a great lawyer, my firm, the Eagle Team, can help. If you've been in a car crash, suffered a data breach, or have Social Security disability issues, we can represent you or help find you the right attorney. Just click on the link in the description for a free consultation with my team, because you don't just need a legal team, you need the Eagle Team, and the link is down below. Now, as for Trump's role in the new charges, he was indicted on 3 more counts. The superseding indictment adds a new count 32, charging Trump with 1 additional count of unlawful retention of national defense information. There's been a lot of speculation about whether Trump would be charged for the unlawful retention of NDI for the document he apparently showed people at Bedminster. To review, the original indictment contained a
God
transcript
damn,
of
you
a
guys killed him
conversation Trump
fast.
had with his staff
The
and
fuck
2
was
authors
that?
who were working on a book for Mark Meadows. In that conversation, Trump seems to show a document, describe it as classified, and say that he could have declassified it, but it was still a secret. And Jack Smith's team added an additional sentence to the superseding indictment to indicate that he has now been indicted for willful retention of that document. And it appears that the DOJ now has the document in question, which allegedly lays out a plan to invade a foreign country. Trump took flack for allegedly being interested in invading a foreign country to deflect from his own domestic issues while he was president. But Trump blamed General Milley for that particular plan, which is why in the audio clip, he says that the top secret document, which he apparently has in his hand, totally wins his case because it was prepared by Milley.
This totally wins my case, you know.
And I guess you really need to pick your battles here. But in any event, if you haven't heard the real audio of that conversation, check out the short that I did on it where you can hear what was left out of the indictment's transcript. In the leaked audio, Trump basically admitted that he did not declassify the document. And because these actions took place in Bedminster, New Jersey, it's possible that there might be another indictment there. But it's still unclear to me why the DOJ never issued a subpoena or search warrant for Bedminster, at least not one that's public. Now, Trump, De Oliveira, and Nauta were charged with conspiracy to obstruct justice in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1512K. The three men are alleged to have conspired to withhold a record, document, or other object from an official proceeding in violation of 1512. And not surprisingly, the three defendants are accused of attempting to violate 1512C, which forbids corruptly altering, destroying, mutilating, or concealing a record with the intent to impair the object's integrity or availability for use in an official proceeding. And they're also charged with trying to keep the security footage from being provided to a federal grand jury. And it's certainly worth paying attention to Section 1512, because if and when Trump is indicted for crimes connected to January 6th, it's extremely possible that he might be charged with a 1512 violation in those proceedings as well. Now, additionally, De Oliveira is charged with making false statements to federal authorities in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1000.
Good
The
shit.
indictment says that during a voluntary interview with the FBI in January of 2022, De Oliveira made representations that were materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent when De Oliveira lied about being involved in any group that helped move boxes. De Oliveira told the FBI that he had neither seen nor heard anything about boxes being moved or stored at Mar-a-Lago. And the original indictment said that Nauta worked with a Mar-a-Lago employee to move approximately 30 boxes from Trump's residence to the storage room on June 2nd, 2022. And the superseding indictment identifies De Oliveira as that employee. And the new indictment also says that De Oliveira helped Nauta load boxes
God
and other
damn,
items
that was a good game.
onto an airplane that flew Trump north for the summer. Now, it's probably fair to say that if De Oliveira had cooperated with the government,
Okay, Doge.
he might not be facing these charges today. But hey, he's loyal to Trump, and we all know that Trump rewards those who are
Good
loyal
shit,
to him.
116,000. How much did I get?
Right? Now, Trump's additional charges have been covered extensively by more than 231 news sources. 33% of the reporting comes from the left, and 16% is coming from the right. And if you compare the headlines, you start to see something interesting in the framing. On the
I
left, you
didn't
have,
check, god damn
outlets
it.
teasing the real goal of the
There's no
charges.
fucking match
And on the right, you
stats.
have others highlighting Trump's statements about the special counsel being deranged. And you can draw from those examples your own conclusions. And this is all possible thanks to today's sponsor, Ground News, a website and app developed by a former NASA engineer on a mission to give
kind of a
readers
cool
an easy,
background.
data-driven, objective way to read the news. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, factuality, and ownership.
Looks like
of
he's
the
eating
source
somebody.
reporting, all backed by ratings from 3
Yeah, he's eating on a
independent
robot.
organizations.
I'll take that.
And I especially like the blind spot feed, which highlights stories that are disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. Because it's important to know what's circulating online in echo chambers instead of being in the dark about misleading media narratives on both sides. And maybe we can even challenge some of our own assumptions. And with the Ground News Vantage plan, you get all of their features plus access to the My News Bias feature, which is basically a dashboard for your news diet. You can see how your reading habits change, what are your top sources, and whether you're seeing diverse perspectives. And if you use my link, you'll get 30% off of the Ground News Vantage subscription. Just click on the link that's on screen right now or down in the description. You'll get a fascinating and more objective look at the news and help support independent and transparent reporting. So to get 30% off, just click on the link below. And after that, click on this link over here for more Legal Eagle, or I'll see you in court.
See you, Legal Eagle.
State? Huh. How odd.
Legal Eagle.
Actually, this is very interesting data. I'd have to think about this. Yeah, just it's virtue signal politics. It's not. We're almost done with the video.
Chances are they're going to vote for a bunch of other progressive Democrats down ballot. That's what I always do. So I think it's just ridiculous to voter shame people. And again, I'm not talking about people that are already voting for Joe Biden. If you're already living in a state and you already have your mind made up, you know, I'm a vote blue no matter who, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. Okay, whatever. Like I said, I'm not really in the interest of voter shaming people or even changing their mind. If you do live in a state and you feel strongly that you'd rather Joe Biden be president and you want to keep him in office, then, you know, go for it. Have a field day. You go do that. I'm not going to stop you. What I am saying, though, is to the 50% of the country that doesn't vote because of the undemocratic nature of the Electoral College, which basically prevents them from having any sort of a say whatsoever in our
Okay, can we be real? The main reason why people don't vote isn't because they have a problem with the Electoral College. Most Americans don't know what it is. The main reason people don't vote is because they're lazy or stupid or apathetic or disengaged. Let's not pretend that the average apathetic voter is somebody who has this wizard's understanding of the American political system that's concluded after extensive research that their involvement is not worthwhile. No, that's not true. It's because we are shouldered into complacency, and because it's just a lot of people just have a lot of stuff going on.
Need
They
a
just don't
healer?
think about it, or they don't care.
Come on, one of you
these aren't
guys fess up.
informed decisions for the most part.
Who doesn't
okay?
want to be a healer?
Talk to the average American.
Gotta take
about
one for the
politics.
team.
People are shocking.
One of you
They-
Zephyrs, get the fuck
like,
out of here.
everyone
You guys
does.
always die
It's
anyway.
incredible, and they should be shared.
Keep the yellow
You-
Zephyr.
Or I should say,
You
more
get back.
accurately. I'm using shaming here, I guess, a little bit flippantly. To be clear, if a person is
Thank
making
you,
an
Zephyr.
argument for voting
The
for
nice
wrong
gold
candidate,
one.
i.e., anyone who isn't Joe Biden, I will argue with them. If they consider that shaming,
Piece of
then that's
shit.
shaming. You know, I will disagree with them. I will say I think that is wrong. But what I really want is for people to vote for Joe Biden, and obviously, for the vast majority of people, that doesn't involve running.
Thank you,
shaming them.
Nimbus.
It actually involves making good arguments to them, and I can make a myriad of good
Thank you,
arguments for
Nimbus.
voting for Joe Biden. And I have, and I do, and that's my channel, and I'm paid billions to do it by the U.S. State Department, but it's really just about maximizing voter turnout in the correct direction. Shaming thing is a euphemism of their creation, not mine, though I think it's funny to play it.
Now, presidential election process, I'm telling those people, actually, you can have a difference. If you go vote for the Green Party, that is actually throwing away your vote less than it would be to vote for either of the duopoly candidates. That's my point.
Any given district. What do you think? If more people follow that logic, Republicans would win every time. That wouldn't be good. This just doesn't work. Just stop, please. Stop treating politics like an expression of your own personal character. It doesn't matter and nobody cares. Please stop. I'm a Cornel West voter. Great. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Nobody cares.
He does, though. He made a whole segment about it.
Please.
That
He does have me on that one. I do care in a purely negative fashion.
is necessary to get federal funding, and that's another reason why I'm very committed to getting Cornel West to 5%. I think that, yes, ranked choice voting is massively important, and that we do need to work on.
I hope Cornel West never ever. I know he won't. There's a 0% chance of it happening. However, if he did get 5%, I still think that'd be bad because he's a crank, and I don't want him out there on the debate stage making leftists look bad. Sorry, buddy. If we're gonna listen, okay? Bernie Sanders was an actual good leftist candidate who knew how to speak to people. Have you seen the way Cornel West talks about shit? Oh my God, absolutely not. I don't care if he's been like a historical activist. That doesn't make you a good politician. So true.
Oof, bad take. Bad take from Vosh. What are you talking about? Cornel West is one of the most moving orators in all of American politics, right?
Because you're already a leftist who agrees with him. He is absolutely not. That's massive cope. The average person does not. Okay.
Like, this is freaking completely ridiculous. You know, an abomination of, I don't even have words to find to dispute. What are you talking about? Have you ever heard of this? What do you mean they go up there and make people look like a crank? Bernie Sanders could barely talk at all. He was up there being like, look, when I was...
What? Bernie Sanders was an obscenely popular candidate who shifted from independent to Democrat to run in the primaries, came incredibly close to beating Hillary Clinton, and the entire time managed to shift the platform leftward. He struck a perfect balance of optimistic activist speech and pragmatic politician speech, so much so that he was effective even in speaking to Republican voters. What do you mean?
As a boy, I can't even get in my Bernie impression right now. This is too ridiculous. It's too ridiculous. I'm beyond words. I can't even find it. It took me this long to find it. Now I have to talk to you like this for a little bit. So I finally found it. When I was a boy in the Brooklyn Dodgers, they moved the big stadium from Brooklyn all the way to Los Angeles, as I said. I'm never gonna forgive big corporations ever again. You don't remember that guy? He had to we literally talked about how Bernie Sanders' candidacy was made by his surrogates. Surrogates like Cornel West who were able to...
The most popular and effective independent candidate running as a Dem in the modern era was made by Cornel. This is like a fantasy story.
Shit.
You could tell Bernie Sanders
Fucking
was
tanking
charismatic
him.
because his biggest flaw was that he
Thank you,
was
Nimbus.
repetitive when he spoke, and he tended to go over the same points over and over with little iteration. And people loved him so much that they didn't even mind and would lovingly refer to it. Everyone I saw was like, oh, well, Bernie Sanders doing the same talking, and people were like, there he goes again. Like, people wouldn't even mind because he was so endearing, and he hit that like curmudgeonly old grandpa vibe so well that it came across as super endearing, you know? Like he was speaking to you personally around a campfire, dinner table.
Move people. Like, this is crazy. Cornel West has been moving people his whole life. He literally is I don't know the nomenclature, reverend, pastor, preacher. I didn't grow up in churches. I don't know what the difference is. Anyway, he's like a theologian kind of guy, very religious, spiritual man. And yeah, of course, I think that actually connects him to people. Like, Bosch thinks that the American people are going to think some guy's crazy because he's in touch with the Bible. That is just further reinforcement that you should...
I didn't mention the Bible.
never take anything that Vosh says about flyover country serious again. Because guess what, dude? Even though you have a bunch of guys like me who are out here being like, yeah, we're lefties, we don't give a about religion, we're from Kansas City. That is not how most people believe things here. Okay, even the people that are
Good
gonna agree
shit.
with you on the
Fucking
leftist
cleaning
politics, like
them.
they still have spirituality close to them. They still have their religion close to
I
them.
didn't
In fact, there are a
mention-
lot of people here who that actually is what drives them towards their activism.
I didn't
Right? It's
mention-
not a bad thing. It's not something you have to be afraid of. It's
I
very
didn't men-
different from the extremely judgmental, tyrannical, Christian evangelicalism that a lot of people have been so turned off by. So I actually, again, I maintain that Cornel West would actually be better off reaching these kinds of voters that Vosh seems so concerned with until the rubber hits the road, right, by rooting his politics in the Jesuit teachings of, Christianity and being like, this is what Jesus was actually about, and making them confront that and having that be part of the, moral dilemma. That they're gonna have to grapple with, because nobody else is making them grapple about shit. The Democrats, they're not making them have any kind of moral introspection. Cornel West will.
I've never talked about Cornel West's religious beliefs. Okay.
Dog shit take from Vosh. Jesus Christ. Do better, Vosh. Come on, give us something serious. This just sounds butthurt.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's one thing to say, hey, I don't think voting third party is going to be successful, therefore I've decided against it. That's a strategic difference. It's one that we can debate. But to say that Cornel West is not a powerful speaker, to say that he's not good at communicating, that's just false. That's just a lie.
I said that he wouldn't be an effective politician, which I fully stand by. Also, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think he's that great of a communicator. I feel like, oh man, do I wanna bust out a hot take? Yeah, I do. Remember the two representatives in the Tennessee, was it Senate or the Tennessee
Good
Congress?
shit.
I'm forgetting their names
God
right now, but they
damn.
were ousted for being based in Red Pill. And the one of them, he spoke straight out of the civil rights movement. The two Justins, right? Which was the one who just legit spoke like he was being filmed in black and white?
Alright, Nimbus, I'll
You know
give
what
you
I
a
mean?
lot of work.
That one was Justin. They were both Justin. Justin Jones? Yeah, okay. That guy to me felt like a modern take on the preacher activist speak. You know what I mean? A politician, a preacher, an activist, a person who captivates, who holds your attention when he speaks. I think that Cornel West is like the unupdated variant of that thing. When Cornel West talks, I don't feel like I'm listening to a modern take on that aesthetic of speech. I feel like I'm listening to that aesthetic of speech decades out of time, if that makes any sense. That doesn't mean that it's wrong to speak that way. It just means that Cornel West is a lot older than Justin Jones. And so the mode of engagement has shifted with time. You can judge for yourselves if you want. I don't think he sounds like he would make for a good politician. Primarily because I think he talks in whimsy. But you can, here's Cornel West being defended extensively by The Hill, the right-wing quote-unquote news org. Here we go. Here's him saying something agreeable.
Trouble tonight in paradise. Panic in the Democratic Party. Joe Biden's re-election is anything but certain. Multiple challengers now threaten to derail left-wing stop.
Oh, indeed. I appreciate you having me back, and hope you and your family doing all right. It's been a while, my brother.
I love when you call me Brother Sean. That's like you're always welcome to do so. You are saying that Biden committed crimes against humanity, against black Americans, and you said his record on race issues, and you called out the Democratic Party's history. Let me ask you this. Why overwhelmingly do minorities and African Americans, Hispanic Americans, why are they still continuing to vote in large numbers in the Democratic Party?
Damn, they're way up ahead.
I swear to God, if he just frames this as an anti-Democrat talking point and he seriously goes on and talks to Sean Hannity and he's like, well, here's why the Democrats are racist. I swear to God.
As I think more and more fellow citizens are reaching the conclusion that the whole system is so rotten, but you got both parties that are so corrupt with politicians who are tied to big money. This is true for Republicans. It's true for Democrats. You were talking about Brother Trump himself and Biden's connection to Dennis, Biden's connection to Thurman. We know Brother Trump, his own father's has been tied to the Klan. Trump's language about
Yo, shit! God damn it!
I've never heard his father. Professor.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you all to live in reality for a second and not give me an answer that you're holding back on. Does he or does he not speak like a presidential candidate typically does in America? There's an objective answer. Now, the reason why we have these biases and associations are absolutely racialized. For example, a southern drawl from a black man is considered unprofessional. A southern drawl from a white man is not only considered acceptable, but there are men with southern drawls in America's House and Senate in D.C. There is absolutely a racial bias. There's a lot about his presentation that speaks to this. He looks and acts like an activist
Good
or like
shit.
a professor, maybe. He
Damn.
doesn't act like a politician to me. Now, is that an unfair and entirely
Goddamn, clean
aesthetic
them boys up
judgment?
nice.
Yeah, certainly. You know, there's a lot that goes into being a
I dropped
politician
those
that's
pants.
totally unfair. Being tall is a huge one, for instance. If you're a man and you're tall, far taller than your opponent, you're likelier to win by a decent margin. That's just how it is. That's not good or fair, but it's also
That
something
looks
worth
cool with the
considering.
yellow guns with that.
In his case, it's just he
I
talks
think they
like a
just have some
professor. He
outfits
talks like
that
a
happen to
professor.
match.
He talks like an aging activist.
They didn't
He
plan
doesn't
on that
like,
yellow
I
matching
love
the,
Slavoj
outfit.
Žižek. Exactly, pop out draft, perfect.
Let's go!
Slavoj Žižek.
Oh!
I love Slavoj Žižek. Except
I worked
for the
really
trans
hard
stuff.
for that. I
don't
deserve
think
it.
Slavoj Žižek would make a great
67,
politician.
not bad.
For like 50 reasons, you know, for an innumerable number of reasons. So this is one of the things. When I
I
say
don't
he's
know,
a
man.
crank, though, I think I'm referring to largely to the stuff he said on Ukraine and some of his broader positions.
I think
but
I'm
in
gonna
this
try
case,
Remnant
I'm mostly
too.
talking about viability
Nothing
as
else.
a candidate from an aesthetic perspective. Skip to 538 to listen to Justin Jones speak. Did you guys know that there's a state? No.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I want to welcome the people back to the people's house. I want to welcome democracy back to the people's house.
A little further back.
The time itself is ready for a change. That time has come back here in Nashville, Tennessee. That truth crushed to the ground will rise again. That what you intend for evil can be used for good, to restore the heart of democracy in our state. And so I come here to stand with my constituents, with the people of Tennessee, to say that no unjust attack on democracy will happen unchallenged. That the abuse of this body will not happen in the comfort of silence. And so I come here, most importantly, though, not as an individual, but I come here to say that the people of District 52, 78,000 people, have a voice in this chamber once again.
He's a very charismatic guy. Anyway, this segment has dragged on for so long. Let's conclude it.
That's blatantly incorrect. And to call him a crank when he basically has the same platform as Bernie Sanders, you know, he takes it a little bit further in the anti-imperialist direction. I don't think Bernie was like talking about, you know, abolishing NATO, but that's not a crank.
Yeah, that's a crank position. Yeah, no, that's a crank position, by the way. That is actually. It is. And his positions on Ukraine.
Crank position? That's not a crank position. That's just being an anti-imperialist.
No, it's not.
But again, you can disagree with that. But
I
to
do.
call
I
him an
think it's a crank
ineffective
position.
Shit at
communicator
me.
that makes the left look bad? Are you kidding me? It is, without a doubt, the fact that Cornel West is a better communicator than Bernie Sanders.
Shit.
Now, obviously, Bernie Sanders had more political experience.
That's just not true. I'm sorry, that's not true. I've listened to both of them
Oh,
speak
so
plenty.
shit, go out
That's just
here.
not true. That's ridiculous.
Jeez.
Experience, so I can understand the case for him being a better politician or a better candidate.
I'm-
But to say that he's better at communicating
shit.
a
I'm
leftist
saved.
message or a leftist perspective,
I'm dead.
Cornel West, one of the greatest communicators in modern American history. Are you?
Jesus,
Asshole.
how? Oh my! Were they like paid by the Green Party? Holy shit! I've listened to Cornel West. He's a fine speaker. I think that he suits the role of an activist.
All right, got
the
some
the
cover.
idea
I
that
saw that
he's
in the
like
trailer.
greatest in, come on.
The same guy that's about to tell you to vote for Joe Biden wants to
come
give
on.
a lecture about
Fuck.
communication skills. Give me a break. Put a sock in it.
Joe Biden won. The purpose of the communication skills is the ability to win, and he won. I don't praise Joe Biden for his communication skills.
Shit, he's gonna hit me with
Don't
that
want
bean.
Republicans to win. All right, well, that was
Shit.
exactly as productive as I imagined
Oh.
it would be.
Oh, there's one.
Hey everybody, so today's video is going to be quite unlike anything
Right.
I've ever made. Recently, in response
Oh,
to
jeez.
the killing of George Floyd, the Department of Justice investigated the Minneapolis Police Department and released an 89-page
fuck is
report
this?
on their findings. They went
Boy.
through hours of body
Oh, boy.
cam footage, looked through police reports, conducted interviews, went on ride-alongs, reviewed complaints, and did statistical analysis on the NPD's actions between 2016 and 2022. The report is one of the most galling, horrifying
Shit.
things I have ever read. What you're about to see is not a hot take. I don't have
Oh,
any
jeez.
fancy opinions or
Oh,
original
boy.
thoughts. I just
Oh,
want
boy.
this information to be
Oh.
widely known, so I'm going to summarize it for you
Oh.
in some detail.
Oh my
Before we
God!
get into it, Minneapolis is a fairly small city. It has a little more than 400,000 people,
Okay.
and its police force has 571 officers. I begin with this bit of information
what
because
is
I
this?
believe it is vitally important. As we're about to see, the MPD has engaged in a pattern of reckless and criminal behavior.
What more balls do I have
will
to
be
shoot?
talking about statistics in this video, but I will also talk about many specific
Please go.
instances of
Thank you.
that behavior. And when I do,
Okay,
I want
let's
you
take
to
a-
remember
let's take a little
that
break.
This system is not big. It does not have thousands of people. It is about the size of an average public
That one's still
school.
popping off
Every
over there.
repulsive thing that I'm going to
Oh,
describe
boy. Oh, boy.
was done by one of 571 people. And with that, let's get into it. Part 1. Excessive force. The DOJ found that the Minneapolis Police Department had a pattern of using unlawfully excessive force. In 75% of cases where force was used by an officer, the victim did not have a
Please don't
weapon
kill me.
and was not
Please.
violent. That in many cases, officers used force when it was absolutely uncalled for. An MPD officer responded to a call that an unarmed black man was trying to light fires in a parking garage. Presumably, he was doing this because he was cold, but the report doesn't say.
How do I go
The
through-
officer was
Fuck.
familiar with this man who had been doing this for the last few days, and he seemed annoyed that he was being called to deal with this same guy again. By the time the officer reached
Fuck.
the man, he was standing across the street
God
from
damn
the
it.
garage. I quote here, the officer shook his pepper spray canister as he approached the man, saying, "Hands where I can see them, sit on the ground,
God damn
I'm
it.
gonna mace ya." The pepper spray here was not
Alright, let me
necessary
look at the
to
map. Where do I
defend
have to
against
go?
this homeless
Probably
man.
all the way
There
around
is no
there.
sense of threat here. The situation
Let's do
was
this again.
entirely under control. Rather, the spray was quite obviously used as an extra-legal punishment. You made me come out here. You broke the same law multiple times. Now you get your punishment. I begin with this story of a cop using obviously criminally excessive force against a non-violent perpetrator of a minor offense because it seems to me emblematic of the culture of the MPD. It is a culture that seems to revolve around a sadistic and deranged power fantasy. The belief
What
that
the
people
fuck?
enacting or suspected of enacting crimes
Oh,
are subhuman,
God
and
damn
that
it.
any reaction to them, no matter how violent, is
So the
justified.
patterns are gonna switch every
we see
time.
the MPD enacting these kinds of illegal punishments over and over again in the DOJ report. A white man was experiencing a mental health crisis, and the officers handcuffed him to a stretcher. While there, the man spat at the officer, and the cop slapped and punched him in the face. After the man was in the hospital, the officer's body cam recorded him saying, "I'm really proud of myself. I only hit him twice." That is to say, my entirely unnecessary use of force against a restrained man who posed no threat was a good day for me. I'm really impressed with myself for my own incredible restraint. Some MPD officers responded to a fight in progress and confronted
Fuck
a man
me.
sitting on a bench. The guy's nose was bleeding, and one officer tried to examine it, but the guy said, "Don't touch me." That was his right. He wasn't posing a threat to the cop, and their prying at his nose wasn't necessary for any reason. But to the officers, this wasn't acceptable. One grabbed him by the wrist and pinned his face to the bench. The other pulled his ear and pushed him down. After they handcuffed him, the man asked, "Why are you doing this to me?" And the cop responded, "We didn't want it to go this way. We wanted to go a different way, but you didn't want to cooperate." Of all the examples of the MPD acting like deranged freaks, one jumps out to me more than most. A woman jaywalked and a cop exited his car and followed her. Here, I'll just quote from the document. The officer grabbed her arms from behind and stated, "Stop, you're under arrest." She turned toward him and said, "Huh?" The officer replied, "You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes," as he pulled her arms behind her back. She said, "What do you mean?" while turning toward him. The officer then yelled, "Stop," and threw her down, slamming her face into the curb. The officer would go on to lie about this event, claiming that the woman was speeding up, evading arrest, even as the body cam footage showed no such thing. Think for a second about what the cop said here. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. It's as though he believes he's in a movie, dishing out tough but necessary street justice, telling people his little one-liners. Looking at the abject abuse of power, you can't help but ask, which stupid game did the woman play? Crossing the street when the light was red? The MPD has a pattern of failing to de-escalate situations. It seems oftentimes that they are actively attempting to
Fuck,
make
almost made it.
confrontations with the
God
public
damn it.
as needlessly violent as possible. A man broke a fence on a public sidewalk, and when the police showed up, he was compliant with their orders. At one point, though, the man turned around to ask the cops if they were in fact police officers. The officer lost control of the man's handcuffed wrists, and chaos ensued.
Fuck.
Quote, the officer
God
continued
damn
to
it!
shout at the man to put his hands behind his back. The officer then punched the man several times in the face before grabbing his neck. The man repeatedly pleaded for the officer to stop as the two rolled around in a struggle. The other officer drive-stunned him with a taser 8 times for a total of 13.87 seconds, pausing between the 7th and 8th cycle to punch the man in the face. This is a failure of policing at every possible level. For one, the officers hardly spoke to the man at the beginning. They never stopped to figure out if a real crime was being committed. They never asked questions of the man or tried to figure out what was going on. More importantly, perhaps, even after violence ensued, the officers did not break from that violence for a substantial enough time to allow the man to comply with their orders. There is no reason for an officer to stun someone 8 separate times between punches because there was no time in that process to see if that degree of force was remotely necessary. And obviously, it wasn't necessary. A similar situation occurred when an MPD officer pulled over an unarmed black woman for performing an illegal U-turn. The woman got out of her car and approached the officers, yelling at them. The sergeant told her to get back in the car, but a language barrier made the communication difficult. The officer then told the woman to, quote, get over here, and without warning, fired his taser at her for 5 seconds. After this, he pushed her to the ground and tased her again for 7 seconds as she yelled, don't kill me, don't kill me. Why did the officer do this? It's entirely unclear. The woman was again unarmed and posed no immediate threat. It was simply an arbitrary and unnecessary show of force. Another taser example, why not? Officers performed a routine traffic stop on a car with a broken taillight. They wanted a teenage black boy to get out of the car because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. The kid requested over 20 times that the officers call a supervisor to the scene, but instead of doing that, the cops took out their tasers and the boy yelled, I'm scared, I'm scared. This kid was being menaced because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and rather than talking to him like a person, they, within moments, threatened him with a painful and terrifying shock. One of the most prominent places MPD officers fail to de-escalate situations is with mentally unwell people. For the record, that police officers
I'm fucking dead.
prepared for violence are so often called to deal with people having mental health episodes is a
I thought
bad
that little
thing.
spot
The
was
vast majority of calls
gonna be where a
related to
hole in a
people
rock
having mental
was,
health
the
episodes,
box.
The person in question is not armed and is not a threat, and police
Fuck.
only make arrests of people having this kind of episode 0.45%
Probably don't even have to shoot
of the
him. Let me
time.
try.
The DOJ suggests that far more of these cases should be handled by primarily mental health crisis workers, and I, of course, agree with that. In any case, the
God
MPD
damn it.
are often called to deal with these things, and they once again rise to the occasion. In one case, a man was sitting on a bench wearing pajama bottoms but no shirt or shoes. He had unmedicated bipolar disorder and his neighbors were concerned. The man, though agitated and loud, was compliant with officers. At one point in the interaction, though, as the man was sitting quietly, the officers fired a taser at him with no warning and handcuffed him. In another case, a concerned mother called 911 because her adult black daughter, who had bipolar disorder, was lying in the road. Officers responded to the call and confronted the woman, who had, by this time, gotten up and was walking through the park calmly. One officer grabbed her arm and the woman didn't like that, yelling, I didn't do nothing illegal, I'm walking through the park like y'all walking through the park. At this point, a second officer grabbed
Fucking
her
little
and
balls,
put her in a
man.
neck restraint, as
There's always
her
some little
mother,
fucking
no
balls
doubt
flying at
regretting
you.
her incorrect belief that someone helpful would show up for her daughter's emergency,
Fuck me, right in my
said,
goddamn
"Don't
mouth."
choke her like that." A Latino man was walking through the park using a branch as a walking stick. An officer responded to a report of this walking man. He pulled up his car and asked him where he was going. The man seemed disoriented. He ignored the officer, but nonetheless was calm. The officer then exited his car, put the man in a neck restraint, and pinned the man to the pavement for 13 minutes.
Let me
He
go
later
see what's
had
on
to
the
be
other side
intubated
instead of
because
just
these
dying trying to get
absolutely
through.
needless injuries, because the police of Minneapolis cannot seem to interact with the public without
Shit.
escalating the situation beyond all rationality and humanity. The problems don't end with the confrontations, though. The beatings and the tasings and the threats, because when people are in the clutches of the MPD, when they have been thoroughly restrained, cops have a habit of treating them terribly. The most obvious example of this is George Floyd, whose medical needs were completely ignored by the MPD, but there are far more examples of this kind of behavior. In one case, the police were transporting a diabetic woman to jail. She asked to see a doctor because she couldn't see straight and they ignored her. When they arrived at the jail, the handcuffed woman was limp. An officer took her from the car and laid her on the concrete. As she moaned for help, an officer leaned down and said,
God, I'm
"Just
such
so
a
we're
fucking
clear,
dumb
since you're
dipshit
playing games,
asshole."
I'm gonna add another charge for obstruct, okay? So you're gonna spend more time in the clink, okay?" When a nurse inspected the woman later on, one of the officers said he didn't know if the woman had diabetes, but joked that, quote, "She's got tons of needles, I know that." The fundamental apathy and derision the MPD has for people in their custody can be seen over and over again. At times, they'll handcuff people, throw them in their squad cars, and slam the door on their heads or legs. They'll leave them unbuckled in car seats so they slide around. In one 2018 case, they hogtied a compliant black man even though their policy prohibited it. Perhaps most troublingly, the MPD has a habit of ignoring the medical needs of the people whose necks they restrain. The DOJ reports that there were numerous times when people said they could not breathe, and the officer responded, "You can breathe, you're talking right now." I'd actually like to finish out this section by talking a bit more about neck restraints, because their use, I think, represents the MPD at its most belligerent. Neck restraints are deadly force. They inhibit blood or airflow, which poses a significant risk of injury or death. And the Minneapolis police have a history of using them when they are completely unnecessary. Between 2016 and 2022, the MPD used 198 neck restraints, and in 44 of those encounters, they did not even make an arrest. Sit with that baffling statistic for a moment. I'm not saying here that in the other 154 cases, the police's neck restraints are reasonable. The DOJ makes very clear that most of them were not reasonable. But in almost a quarter of these cases, the police performed a potentially
Alright, so
lethal
it's only so I
action
can
on
get a
someone
cover
who they
spot.
did
That's
not
nice.
even go on to arrest,
I don't think I need
who
it.
presumably committed no crime at all. A Latino man was kicking his car and saying that he was going to kill somebody. When the police came, he was agitated, yelled that he was the creator, and threatened to fuck the officer up, but he posed no immediate threat. Standing with his arms outstretched, one holding a beer, the other hand empty, an officer crept up behind the man and squeezed his neck until he was unconscious. To emphasize the obvious, it is not now, nor was it ever legal to use an unconscious neck restraint on a man whose resistance was entirely passive. In another case, a mother called the police on her teenage son because he'd allegedly assaulted her. When they came, the 14-year-old black boy was lying on the bedroom floor playing with his phone. Officers moved to arrest him, but he
Defeat the
moved
Labyrinth
away,
boss?
and one officer struck him in the head
That was the
multiple
boss?
times with a flashlight and pinned him to
Shoot a
the
bunch of
wall.
fucking blocks?
Then the cop kneeled on the boy's back or neck
That was
for
fucking
15
trash.
minutes as his mother
Alright,
yelled,
let's go.
"Please do not kill
Great
my
boss
son.
fight.
He's only 14. You've already got him in the handcuffs. Please
The
take
hiding
me
under the
off my
cubes was
son."
kind of cool,
For the
but
record,
just
that
the random
officer
fucking
was Derek
balls flying
Chauvin,
at you
who
and the
would
once in a
continue
while
acting as a police officer
area
and
attack
3 years later
fucking magic
killed
cube coming
George
at you
Floyd
is
in
just
much the
fucking
same
stupid.
way. In 2020, in the wake of Floyd's death, the MPD banned neck restraints, and while this is
Let me at
of
least get my
course a
fucking
positive
money's worth
step,
out of this goddamn
the response
game.
police officers had to the policy change is illuminating. Many felt the choice to ban potentially lethal action was politically motivated, an overcorrection
If I
that
jumble
would
some
lead to
fucking
more
rocks
force.
up here,
As one
that's how this game
officer
works,
put
right?
it,
Just
if you
try
can't
random
touch the
shit
head
and it
or
works.
neck, the result is you punch them.
Hit this
a
rock,
sentence that
summon a
confuses
leprechaun.
me for two reasons. First, punching someone is preferable to restricting their blood and
Oh,
airflow.
so much fun
Second,
discovering what
the
to do,
MPD
what works
already
and what
punches
doesn't.
people a fair amount. While neck restraints have gone down since the ban, officers still sometimes use them illegally. In one case, an MPD officer restrained the neck of a protester who threw a punch. In another case, an officer restrained the neck of a black man to stop him from running away with some sneakers. Part 2. Freedom of speech. As you might imagine, the behavior of the Minneapolis police tends to
At
make
least,
people
I don't know how they
pretty
call
mad.
this
Especially
Souls-like.
in the
This is
wake
like
of
playing
George
fucking
Floyd, folks
Diablo.
like to protest the MPD. Journalists cover them a lot.
Souls-like
People say mean
enemies
things to
and
police
bosses that
officers.
like actually
I know
have
what
unique
you're
combos
thinking.
and move
Sure,
sets
these
and
police officers seem kind of iffy, but they would never go
I don't
against the
know.
First Amendment. Surely this section will be about the one really dope thing about the police.
I guess just coming from
No,
Elden Ring, there's a big
unfortunately
step
not.
down.
In the shock of a century, the MPD is not good about honoring people's freedom of speech. I don't know why I wrote this extremely dumb joke lead-in paragraph for this section. I think it's just because the Minneapolis
The fuck
police
is over
are
here?
almost comically pathetic about this issue.
Wait,
They
I think I
show
missed something
time
up
and
there.
time again an outright derision for basic freedom and a willingness to bully people who act against their wishes. The MPD has a pattern of inflicting violence on peaceful protesters with no discernible justification. In one case, officers told a protester to move back, which she did. Then, one of them started pushing her, and when she said, "Don't fucking push me, asshole," he pushed her harder, knocking her onto the pavement and causing traumatic brain injury. The police like to do this shoving thing. There are two other cases of it at this same protest. In one, officers ran behind a protester and forcefully shoved him in the back. In the other, they shoved the guy who was recording the police. The MPD isn't always so confrontational, though. They also have various generally non-lethal projectiles at their disposal, and they regularly use them against peaceful protesters. For example, one officer shot rubber bullets at a distant crowd. Visibility was low,
What
and
the
he
fuck
had
is
no
Grey
clear
Health?
target. He was just kind of shooting and letting fate decide. Nearby, a journalist was hit by a rubber bullet
Max Health.
and lost her eye. The Minneapolis police seem to revel in
Grey
this
Health,
ability
is that
to
my
commit
stamina?
indiscriminate violence. During the George Floyd protests, one officer encouraged another to throw a flash grenade at a crowd of protesters, and the officer responded, "You mean throw one? I'll just fucking throw it. They'll scatter real quick." Later on, the officers
alright,
congratulated
just go
one
there.
another for hitting fleeing protesters. "You hit him. Nice." And this sort of attitude pervades the force. In one case, a sergeant told an officer, "I'll give you a pack of beer if you hit the protesters with a 40mm. In another, a different sergeant encouraged officers to shoot rubber bullets, quote, "in the junk." The MPD isn't just opposed to protesters, though, but also to the people who record and cover their actions. The police confronted a journalist who was filming. He shouted that he was press, and he held his badge up, and the police pushed his head into the pavement. When he continued to yell that he was press, a cop pepper sprayed him directly in the face and walked away. In another
It
case,
lasts
an
a pretty
officer
long time.
pepper sprayed a man for recording them. When he refused to leave, they threw his phone off a bridge. While there are more cases I could name, I'll end this section with what I see as the embodiment of the
Where's the
MPD's
recharge?
relationship to freedom of speech. The cops responded to a disturbance call about a college party. There, a 19-year-old yelled, "Fuck the police." One officer grabbed him, and the kid correctly affirmed his right
I don't
to
know if
say
it charges
that,
over
but
time.
the cops disagreed. "No," an officer said, "you can't." Another officer put the teenager in a neck restraint, and he screamed that he couldn't breathe. Later on, as the kid was in the back of a cop car, one officer said, "Hopefully you can tell your friends when you say 'fuck the police.' Now you understand that's actually not legal unless you're in a riot
Alright.
or a display of protest."
Guess I gotta kill
Part
to
of
recharge
me
it,
can't
or
help but
shoot.
wonder what motivated a sentence like that. Was this officer straightforwardly lying, saying people weren't allowed to yell "fuck the police" because he wanted to bully a kid? Or did he believe it? Are the Minneapolis police so brainwashed, so authoritarian, that they truly think it's against the law to be mean to them? Part 3. Racism. Minneapolis is a city of extreme racial inequality.
I have a trade
Black people
available.
make on average 44% as much as white people do. 25% of the black population
Well, I
owns
can't
houses,
upgrade it
whereas
anymore.
77% of the
It's
white
fucking
population
locked.
does. Native Americans, and I use that term here because it's what's used by the
fuck?
DOJ, are a similarly marginalized population. They too make about 44% as much as white people do, and are 18 times more likely to be homeless than white people are. These inequalities cannot merely be solved by making the police better or by abolishing them. They must be tackled in their own right, combated with resources and policy changes designed to rectify the outcomes of historical and current day injustice. That said, the Minneapolis Police Department is part of the problem. They are very racist, and that, obviously, is what I'm going to talk about today. The police perform far more traffic and pedestrian stops on black and Native American people than they do on white people. They stop black people 6.5 times more and Native Americans 7.9 times more. Even more troubling, the MPD stops black people and Native Americans with no arrest or citation extremely often, around 6 times more often. That is to say, the police of Minneapolis have a habit of stopping these people for no reason at all. You may think this point about stops is somehow minor. It's not flashy in the way excessive force violations
Isn't it
are,
on my
but it
phone?
is extremely important. For one, it speaks to a pattern of routine victimization and prejudice. The MPD regularly perform what are known as pretext stops, stops for minor violations that are actually done so as to investigate supposedly suspicious activity. And the fact that the MPD does this kind of stop, and usually does so on black and Native American people, represents a culture that sees these people of color as inherently guilty and suspicious. What's more, every stop that the police perform is an opportunity to enact violence, to menace someone, to let things get out of control. To make things worse, the MPD are far more likely to search and use force against black people and Native Americans. The cops use chokeholds against these people around 10 times more than they did against white people. Even black and Native American kids are more likely to be victims of force. Compared to white adults, POC youth are around 180% more likely to have bodily force used against them, and around 500% more likely to have guns unholstered or pointed at them. I'll emphasize, that comparison is to white adults. The rate at which white kids have force used against them is far, far lower. A black teenager allegedly took a $5 burrito without paying. A plainclothes officer then held him at gunpoint. When asked if he was really a cop, he said, "Really? How many white people in the city of Minneapolis have you run up against with a gun?" He also reportedly said, if he doesn't steal today, he will steal tomorrow. According to an arbitrator assigned to review discipline, an officer approached a car and ordered the teen driving it to get out, threatening, "If you fuck with me, I'm gonna break your legs before you get a chance to run." The teen then asked why he was being arrested, and the cop said, "Because I feel like arresting you." And when the kid called him racist, he responded, "Yep, and I'm proud of it." He added, "Do you remember what happened in Black Hawk Down when we killed a bunch of you folk? I'm proud of that. We didn't finish the job over there. If we had, you guys wouldn't be over here right now." In one case that I find particularly illustrative, a black woman called up the MPD about a guy putting up flyers threatening Black Lives Matter activists. The cop who answered said Black Lives Matter was a terrorist organization and that, quote, "We are going to make sure you and all the Black Lives Matter supporters are wiped off the face of the earth." Here, we can see that the Minneapolis police are not merely racist incidentally, they are, in some cases, political activists devoted to that cause, devoted to opposing racial progress. The MPD has never reported racial demographic information enough. From 2017 to 2020, they failed to record cases of the people they stopped 30% of the time. But after the death of George Floyd, after concerns about the MPD's racism became national news, the problem became even worse. They didn't report people's races in 65% of stops. The MPD knew they had a problem, knew that they were racist, and their response was to hide that information as much as humanly possible. Part 4. Accountability. While I think it's important to end this video with a discussion of accountability, it's a difficult section to write, and that's for the simple reason that the list of things the Minneapolis police did wrong and the list of times they failed to account for those things is essentially an identical list. While there are extremely rare exceptions, a general rule underpinning the MPD is that it does not do anything about how much it sucks. Take the MPD officer who threw a jaywalking woman to the ground as he said, "Play stupid games, get stupid prizes." Instead of dealing with this naked use of excessive and cruel force, the MPD lied about it, claimed the woman was resisting the officer and speeding up, even though none of this is caught on body cam footage. The woman's complaint was dismissed, and the officer was recommended for non-disciplinary coaching. Take the officer who pushed a peaceful protester to the ground, causing traumatic brain injury. He claims that he gave her a slight push, that she was advancing toward the cops, and that she refused to comply with their orders. These claims were corroborated by other police officers, and the supervisor who reviewed the incident said this account matched the body cam footage, even as it did nothing of the sort. That officer is still on the force. Take the MPD officer who responded to a woman's complaint of some threatening signs by saying that Black Lives Matter was a terrorist organization and that they'd wipe her and all BLM supporters off the face of the earth. That woman filed a complaint, but it went nowhere, just like the other 9 complaints that officer received. That cop still works for the MPD. Take a police officer who responded to a home security system false alarm. He scaled a 6-foot fence, went into the backyard, and shot 2 dogs. In the body cam footage, these dogs were doing nothing wrong. One walked toward the officer wagging his tail, and the other approached in a non-threatening manner. But the officer lied, and the supervisor who arrested the incident lied for him, claiming that the dogs were growling and running toward the officers threateningly. In the end, the city paid $150,000 to settle the ensuing lawsuit, but the cop who shot 2 dogs for no reason went on to non-disciplinary training. The dogs lived, by the way. They're living dogs. Consider the case of a police officer who, in 2014, punched a man in the face multiple times with a closed fist even as he was handcuffed behind his back. There was no investigation of this behavior. No one even looked at the surveillance footage of the incident, and the cop went on to use unreasonable force many times during his career. In one case, that same officer kicked a man in the face after he was on his hands and knees, causing a traumatic brain injury. Only after this case, after 68 uses of force and 8 separate investigations spanning multiple years, was this cop finally convicted of assault. A different cop, an unrelated cop, had a career where he choked an 18-year-old developmentally disabled student, punched a woman in the face, knocking her unconscious, and beat a man unconscious outside a bar. While the city paid out multiple settlements related to these actions, the cop remained on the force for 12 years. They paid him to do this shit. I could keep going and going and going and going here. I promise there is no end to the cases where cops did horrible things with no repercussions. But here, let's move on to the bigger picture. Because of all the problems with the MPD,
It just
its
kills some
bureaucracy is
powerful
one of the
creatures.
most troubling. Every level of the system works to protect the police, just as the
Okay, let's
police
go
protect
here.
each other. Let me quote here my
fuck
favorite
around.
bit of writing from this entire DOJ report. Instead of a clear, straightforward accountability system, MPD's system is an opaque maze with multiple
it unlocked
dead
the
ends
portals.
where meritorious complaints are dismissed
Nice.
without investigation and often for no discernible
let's
reason.
go up there.
Significant allegations and complaints are mischaracterized or ignored. Officers who commit serious misconduct are diverted to coaching or retraining, and sometimes the coaching or retraining never happens. If MPD does investigate a complaint, obvious misconduct is often overlooked or excused. By the end, the investigation has often taken so long that the complaint becomes stale, leaving problematic officers to continue committing misconduct for years. There is no accountability. There is no justice. The MPD's most primary weapon is systemic failure. I'll end this video on one note. In all its cases of brutality and excessive force, there was only one time in the last 6 years where officers were ever investigated for not holding one another accountable, for not stopping the use of unreasonable force. And that is the
Excuse
case
me?
of the officers who failed to intervene when Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd. The MPD is a criminal organization, and the only way they can be brought to justice is if we bring them to justice. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's definitely different from other things I make, but I think it's important, and important in a way that quite literally none of my videos ever have been. If you did like it, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe sign up for Nebula if you like. I have a bonus video out this month, which is surprisingly
God
long,
damn it.
about a very bad Blair White video. Really just a shockingly bad Blair White video, and I talked
Bro,
about it for
with the fucking
a while.
spamming that
I don't
attack.
necessarily love
Come
doing this
on.
right now because of the nature of the material.
Jesus
but
fucking
I didn't do
Christ.
it last month, so now it's time for my Patreon question of the video. John Jackson asks, what is your opinion on the most controversial topic of our time, banana flavored things? Do they actually taste like banana? And follow-up question, do you like them? No. Repulsive. Disgusting kind of treat. Laffy Taffy and Runts are the two candies that I'm thinking of right now that are have a banana flavor. It's not really a modern thing. It feels very passé. It feels very old school in the candy making community. You're not going to see like a Skittle that's banana flavored. They're not going to pop out with a new banana flavored Starburst. It's of the past. It's old. It's obsolete. Nobody cares anymore. Banana flavor tastes bad, and that's my opinion. For the record, I have no problem with anybody who wants to stream this video. It's completely fine by me. I think it's best to get it out. You don't have to commentate on it if you don't want to. It's fine to stream it.
Oh, nice.
If you want. I'm not saying do that.
Thanks,
I'm just
bro.
trying to say you have a blanket permission from me to do it. Okay.
Thanks, bro. Have a nice day. Bye. Yeah, because I'm just watching shit as I play. Just want stuff to listen to. Alright, what do we got going on here? You gonna come alive? Where's the goods at? Oh! Loop. Give me. Oh shit. Got poisoned. Nice. Can I wash it off? Why did I eat that? The fuck is this? Something else is stomping. This guy. What the fuck? Shit, too early. That comes out fast. Alright, I want to see more of that. More melee enemies. More challenging melee enemies. Where's that other path going? Oh, it all comes around. I'll go over here first. It does a whole fucking loop around, okay. Behind me? Shit. Get that ammo. I'm out. Shit. I missed something? What is that? Box? Loot? I did. Ow. Thought I didn't see you, huh? Get over here. Alright, let's go.
has a huge remit of responsibilities.
People said I was disrespectful of you. And the next time I asked you to do the podcast, you said no, because it's a
That's
hologram.
not what happened.
But I felt bad.
All right.
Get him.
It's really amazing. I think, you know.
Let's do an Ariana follow-up. We had a fantastic show, I thought, on Friday. A phenomenal show. Olivia brought
Am I
out
here already?
the big guns, the
Aisha?
Ariana PowerPoint.
Yesha.
And I was quite surprised personally.
Yeah, I'm here already.
By some of the reception to it. There's a group of people out there who hate Ariana Grande. Apparently, they fucking hate her. And the reason, and well, I think they shared their hatred unfairly with Olivia. They accused you of being a sellout, and Ariana
Bias.
maybe stan bias.
Yeah, first of all, before it started, I stated my bias that existed. Secondly, I never defended what she did. What she did was literally disgusting and horrible. I just kept saying, oh my God, I can't believe that this is real.
Yeah, I don't think you were saying this didn't happen. You were just
No.
shocked as
Yeah.
a fan of hers.
And I was like playing up the denial maybe for comedic effect.
I did not feel that in any sense you were defending her.
Thank
In
you.
fact, I mean, the whole damn presentation was very critical of her.
I mean, yeah, if I was trying to defend her, I just wouldn't have done it, you know? And some people were like, no, she left out stuff about people cheating. And I did talk about it towards the end, but there are just like, there are different stories. So it's like, do I really want to talk about whether or not she possibly got with someone when they were on a break from a relationship versus like if they were actually fully broken up at the time? Like, no, that's kind of boring. I don't really want to talk about it. Like, I
Now-
want to talk about SpongeBob.
There were a few things that came up interesting that we can supplement on. But I can't emphasize just how weird people were about this. In the
Yeah.
comments, it was like,
Jesus, what
she's
the
a-
fuck was
she's
that?
a Ariana apologist.
I stopped
She's
looking.
such a
It was ridiculous.
hypocrite.
Camera just
Yeah.
fucks up
And
at
it's
this
like,
angle,
chill, you
huh?
guys, you know what I mean?
And it was
This
Olivia's
game
birthday,
needs some
which was
camera
the
work.
best.
Literally.
Way too
No,
close
I
to the
just stopped
player.
looking.
That's good.
I had a
I
good
was going to
time.
message you about it to
No,
check
no.
on you, but it was your birthday, and I was
For
like...
ADS is not
I'm
bad,
gonna
but in
bring
general,
this
it's
up.
just way too close.
Hila did?
She did.
Can't
Oh,
see
that's
my
sweet.
whole
I didn't
body.
wanna
I
mention
can't
your
see
birthday
too
when
much
you think
around
about
me.
No,
But you-
everything was totally good.
Okay, good.
And Ela made me feel very loved.
That's nice. I didn't know she did that. Good for her, sweetheart.
Hmm.
But yeah, someone made a good analogy. It's like when Ian was in his Kanye awakening, is almost like what Olivia's going through now with Ariana Grande. Is that possible?
I mean, Ariana
These
did
aren't
something
going off.
horrible.
But
Yeah.
it does seem that there is a track record of her doing horrible things. One thing that stuck out to me that I totally forgot was the donut incident. Now, this is from 2015. How old was she then?
In 2015.
Not
Nice.
that old, right? She must be.
She was about 22.
Okay.
donut, okay?
Okay, I mean, should know better. So she was filmed on a camera at this donut store being like a total douche. And also she made this really funny apology, but here's everything.
Here I am apologizing to y'all.
Oh, to be fair, it's giving Travis
I just
Scott
walk in the
and
middle
nobody
and not get hit. Nice.
She also, her apology video was directly after her
Shit.
wisdom tooth surgery.
You know everything.
I know.
So what does that mean?
She just starts the video
Ooh,
by saying, like,
nice.
I think they cut it out of this clip, but she starts her apology saying, like, I'm sorry, I literally
Good
just got
shit,
wisdom
good
tooth
shit.
surgery, but like, I want to do
Cracked
this
stamina
right now."
cost.
Okay.
Here I am apologizing to y'all. Seeing the video of yourself behaving poorly that you have no idea was taken is such a rude awakening that you don't, it's like you don't know what to do. I was so disgusted with myself. I like shoved my face in the pillow. I wanted to disappear.
So I guess I don't know what that means. She's in a donut store. They brought a fresh tray of donuts, and she said, "I hate Americans."
Taste.
But you're in a donut store.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't really get it. I don't get it. But that's not it. That's not all that happened.
I think it's possible a donut was decorated like an American flag, but I might.
I hate America.
That's a
I think it's
Pokeball.
like, oh my god, that's huge.
I know that
hate
one.
America.
That doesn't bother.
That's a
me.
dick.
What happens?
It's
Is worse.
definitely penis.
Guys, for my
Donut.
Still
gay.
penis.
and for my
Happy face.
behavior. It's been
That's the
rough,
clown emoji.
but,
Not happy face.
You know, I made a mistake and I'm being judged for it.
That's a dick going
she
into
licks
pussy.
a donut. on
Broken
display.
Pokeball,
That's-
full Pokeball.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
That's weird.
Penis.
That
Pointy
reminds
penis.
me. You remember when people were going in the grocery
Goatsy.
store and licking ice cream and putting it back?
Anus. Asshole.
Fucking worse.
That's what
We
she's
remember
doing.
that.
She's doing
Asshole.
that.
Yeah, it's
Asshole
gross.
and asshole.
That's like the worst. That's like the worst edgy, dumb teenage bullshit ever. This is like death to all teenagers stuff. Button.
I'm not reading all that.
Fine. Yeah. I mean, I'm.
Death to all Jews.
That's way worse.
That is yes. A lot worse.
Ooh. Hey, boys.
So she did it. They were licking the donut, which is pretty vile. You know what I mean? Okay. So there's donut game from when she was 22.
Right.
What the fuck is
Which is
that?
bad.
It counts for something, I guess.
What was there? This was part of the criticism that this was not included.
It was. Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was
seem
included.
that
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, they beg to differ, so.
I don't think the presentation.
Man, this pistol's strong as
specifically
fuck.
suffered
God
for
damn.
Right, I don't think it
including donut
necessarily
game.
would have
Yeah.
benefited from this inclusion. But
This
it's,
part-
I mean, it's a funny part of it.
So this part, though, this was about the amount of times that Ariana Grande has broken up relationships, been taken men, and
Yes.
so this is, I think, relevant and very relevant, right, in terms of what we're talking about.
Sure.
So let's watch this, and then you can talk about it.
Right. There's another video that like counters this video, just so I included everything.
Okay, so here is. This photo is so fucking funny. I don't know why.
It's literally seared
You
into
deal
my
with that?
brain. They're so bleak.
Oh, he just explodes.
The dude looks like a worm
Oh,
with
Big
a
Daddy.
face on it. Like
Get
an
over here.
earthworm. He's an earthworm Jim.
Let's go, bitch.
I don't know what that means.
He's a cheater.
You've seen this?
Yeah, that's I love her. That's not Ariana Grande. I don't love her.
Shit.
Right. Make that clear.
Very clear. I'm
Okay,
mad at
Ariana-
Ariana Grande.
Right, so here we go.
Grande and her long history cheating in relationships.
Good shit.
2013, High Brooks accuses.
Is this song claimed?
There was no claim, no.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Ariana for cheating on him with Nathan Sykes. Same year, 2013, rumors started going around that Mac Miller and his longtime girlfriend Nomi broke up because he cheated on her with Ariana. In 2016, Naya Rivera revealed in her book that Big Sean allegedly cheated on her in 2014 with Ariana when she walked into her house and Ariana was there.
That's not what.
In 2018, Mac Miller's ex-girlfriend Nomi revealed on her Tumblr blog Mac cheated on her again with Ariana in 2016. In 2018, there were rumors Ariana cheated on Mac with Pete Davidson, while Pete was in a relationship with Cassie David. In 2020, Cassie said,
This does look pretty demonic. The track record is questionable.
In Cassie's book, she literally says that.
Okay, hold on. Let's get through this and then you can debunk it all.
She found out Pete was cheating on her with Ariana through Instagram. In 2019, TMZ reports that Ariana and Big Sean were getting cozy in the studio together while he's dating Jean Aiko. In 2020, Dalton Gomez's ex-girlfriend posted this on her Instagram story.
When you see your ex with the person they told you not to worry about.
That I was very compelled by. I hadn't seen that.
Oh, you had it?
That I will say I was moved.
In 2020, Dalton Gomez's ex-girlfriend posted this on her Instagram, fueling the rumor that Dalton cheated on her with Ariana.
Fueling the rumors that Dalton cheated on her with Ariana. In July 2023, it was announced Ariana and Dalton
my meter all the way up.
Divorce Ethan Slater and
Dude, I mean, look at all this.
Take
it's
that
like
gold. Thank you.
It's easy to assume that she has a thing for breaking up families, that like it turns her on or something or makes her feel powerful. Because why else would she want to fuck this dude?
Okay, so 100% I believe when girls participate in like knowingly taking other girls' partners, it has to be that like they want to prove to themselves that they are the hottest and best woman, and they could be they could literally take they could have anybody that they want. They're trying to like fill some sort of like craving that can't be filled and won't be filled. And like she'll just dump him later, and then she'll find another grandpa with a family.
That's what I see.
God damn it, you little fucking asshole! Fuck off!
Psycho, like really
Yeah,
narcissistic
100%.
freak shit.
I feel the same way. Comment section. I also hate this.
God damn it.
His wife are separating. And now it's announced Ariana and Ethan are dating all in one week.
All these tiny ass
fueling
fighting
the
areas,
rumors
all
they
these
cheated.
tiny ass fighting areas. I have to constantly keep fucking zooming my camera back and
what's
forth.
your retort to this?
So I included
Just to see if enemies
another
are
video
behind
that I
me.
had seen before.
I wonder if I could see 'em on the
presentation, and I was
minimap.
just like, oh, okay, so I guess I won't really mention it because the details
You gotta
are
be
fuzzy.
fucking kidding me.
And
Not this again.
Naya Rivera debunked that herself, and it's in this. She was like, no, I literally walked in and she was sitting on a couch and they were working on their duet. That did come out a few months after that.
Okay, so here is the Ariana Grande stan to the rescue. Let's see what he says.
Right, and he is biased, by the way.
Okay, well,
both of these
facts
videos
are facts,
biased.
you know what I mean?
Oh
Facts are
god,
facts,
all the
as
way
you
there
said.
again.
Still
God
Mary
damn
was
it.
played by a journalist at Page Six who notoriously does not like Ariana Grande.
That one she fucked up on. Like, you can't even argue on that one,
No,
dummy.
I wasn't listening to that.
Yeah, that, come on.
Those rumors that they're still married was spread by a journalist.
Why do you care?
Blah, blah,
It's like,
blah.
you don't
Ariana
even...
fucked up this situation.
The
Don't even
God
argue.
Well,
damn
also
it.
the wife,
With the
I think-
spawning behind me. God damn it.
Yeah. She said
Fuck.
Run
all the way back so I can fucking see all you dipshits.
Why do you care?
Journalist at Page Six who notoriously does not like Ariana Grande. To further
By the way, she's like, yeah, Page Six doesn't like her. Okay. That's just like your opinion.
Bro, you're on the floor. How the fuck are you faster than when you're walking?
she broke up with Pete, making him single before he went and dated Ariana Grande. Naya
I feel like this guy would lie to defend her. Do we know that's true? He would. I mean, that first take is so stupid. You know.
Maybe. Rivera clarified that Big Sean did not
I know
cheat
that
on her.
when Pete Davidson tells the story of how they met, it's that Scooter knew that he was in the down in the dumps because Cassie broke up with him, and he knew that Ariana thought he was cute.
Okay.
But Cassie claims in her book that she was fearful to end things with Pete due to sensitive state of his mental health, but decided to
what?
take a break because she was unable to convince him that she loved him. And that was in March, and they got together. In
Get the fuck out of here, man! God damn, you guys fucking spawn forever!
Let's see.
With Ariana Grande, she walked in on them sitting on a couch listening
It's
to
also
music.
just
that they
like,
were working-
I know that this stuff is like relevant
Yeah,
slash
maybe.
compelling, but
Is
it's
my
like,
slushy?
is it important enough to include in like
Kind of.
45 slides of this situation that I'm actually telling you guys about?
Yeah, you're telling a story. You gotta keep it a little bit focused.
I do think that the history is interesting. It is
Yes,
pretty
I
damning. It is
I
pretty
do
damning.
too, but the blurriness of it, and also I will say, my bias maybe is the reason why I didn't include it subconsciously, and I apologize, and we're showing it now.
Like you said, you disclosed a bias, and you're
And I
allowed
also
to.
said this stuff at the end.
Right, that's true. We did talk about
Like,
it.
Let's go.
Sorry,
Keep
guys.
running behind.
Yes.
Check
It
behind.
also
Constantly fucking flick
wasn't
everywhere around me.
at all.
thank you
Looking
so
for
much.
goddamn enemies.
Thank you so much.
Game is
Just
fucking
pointing that
ridiculous.
Thank you.
Talking about celebrity gossip
Thank you.
on a comedy podcast.
Excuse me, Dan.
Oh wait, back it up a little bit.
Do not disparage the seriousness of this show, sir.
Baja Blast time.
That is the queen.
Did anyone get full Baja
Anyone
Blast,
creeping
or
from
is it
around
all
the
dire?
corner?
Oh, I'm full, baby.
Why the
Okay,
fuck
why
is
are
your
you-
body
I'm
still
afraid
here?
that
Get the
mine-
fuck out of here,
You know,
man.
this diet
Go.
culture bullshit.
Sorry, bro. I just want to make sure that this is diet.
This one definitely has sugar. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
On summer 2014, right when they put out a song together.
Never said they were cuddling.
Yeah.
I never said he cheated. I said she was sitting on a couch.
Drain Enchanter?
walked
What
in
the
on them
fuck
once.
was that that
That's
just
right,
popped
you know
up on the
And they were
screen?
working on their duet.
Thank you. They were what?
They were working on the duet that came out at that time.
Okay.
How the fuck do I get a...
Alright, let me see what's
It was
going
just
on.
like, oh, is that important?
Jay Brooks for threatening her and telling her that if she didn't come back to him, he was going to make her look bad to the
Alright,
whole
so
world.
just gotta
Starring
dodge out of
Lady
that.
She cheated on him, but she did not.
And wait for his
Here's the
fucking
video of
fart
what
to
Ariana has say about
disappear.
being accused of
Nice.
being- There's rumors that they're still
Alright, see all you guys are popping out the
Even
walls now.
with all
Let's
this-
go. Come on. Oh, what the
I've still
fuck is
done it
this?
Enough times where you're like,
It's enough where it's like weird, but it's also like, can you fault someone for dating someone after they dated someone else?
I see what you
Like,
mean.
does
though.
she have a moral obligation to Cassie Davidson to not hook up?
Great,
with
genius,
if we're
nice.
on a break?
Right, popping up right
No,
behind
that
me.
one's bullshit.
Yeah.
That one sounds like bullshit.
And that's like her most recent.
Are
I
you
didn't see the
fucking
Dalton one
kidding?
until today, which is crazy.
It does seem like there's enough propaganda on both
Where the
sides.
fuck did he go?
Yes.
People that hate her, people that stand her, that it is a little iffy.
Right. And I.
Where the
I
fuck
should've
did he
put the video
go?
in it. You're right.
Well, we don't need to speculate. I mean, the conclusion's the same.
I agree. Yeah.
Back
the
here?
conclusion is the same. Ariana Grande did something horrible and disgusting. And so did that man.
So is Ariana like permanent L for this? She canceled?
I don't know how any of her fans are gonna look at her.
So what, he just fucking disappears?
Just like,
Pretty scummy.
that's crazy that you did that,
Alright.
and that you know that all
Whatever.
of us know that you did that.
Mm-hmm. I think people still listen to her music, but I think people always think of her as like a scum.
Yeah.
By the way,
Also, R.I.P. Naya Rivera, obviously.
R.I.P. what?
Naya Rivera. She died a few years ago.
I don't know who that is.
The woman who said that she walked in on Ariana sitting in a couch.
Oh, rip. Wait, Ian, you're a Ariana Grande stan too,
Alright,
aren't
time
you?
to run all the way back.
I completely forgot
They're
to
gonna
call on
fucking
you.
spawn forever. Yep, there you go. Coming to fuck me from
Oh.
behind, all the way
Wait, I
back
think the
there.
taco's here.
Wait.
Nice.
I gotta go get my taco.
From Kanye to Ariana.
Well, I haven't
been
seen
real
her.
quiet
I
back
haven't
there.
seen her say anything about Hitler yet so far. So
That's true. Different scale.
she's in the yellow zone. It's not full.
So they're not
DEF
spawning behind me. He's just where the
Wait,
yes
till
they
you
are.
see
Where the
how
fuck
to-
are you guys? Bro, where the fuck did you come from?
Minority.
What is this?
She's still far off from that.
So he could just follow and teleport
we
me
have people
anywhere,
in the
just
comments
spawn
that like
enemies
this
all
video.
around me.
That's
Perfect. Just like every other single fucking
Here's a
boss
headline
in this
from
goddamn game.
Yesterday. Ariana Grande giving boyfriend Ethan
Just fucking
space to
spam
work things out with
enemies.
his estranged wife.
Perfect.
Dude, that's so iconic.
So
he
much
broke them
fun.
up and she's over it already.
I think that's her PR team being like, we're breaking this up, at least for the public eye.
I want it to be real. I mean,
I
that's
mean, I
that's
would
what he
also love
deserves.
that. I think so too.
What an idiot, bro. You fucking moron. You really think that you guys are going to be happily ever after?
It's like the curse of mid-men in theater, mid-straight men in theater. They have the craziest god complexes.
course.
It's
Of
ridiculous.
course!
'Cause they get everything they
Spawning
want.
behind me,
They're
perfect.
Really in troops normally, so they always get the lead. So they're always told that they're incredible. They don't need to get better. And all of the girls are in love with them.
Really?
Yes, so they think they're the fucking hottest
Why are the
people
girls in
the
love with
world.
them? Just 'cause
Because
he-
they're the only. They're like, if you're a straight girl and you like cis men, that there are only like
Your options are fairly
two.
limited in the world of
Slim
theater.
pickings. And they explode when they die too. Nice, perfect. Perfect!
Everybody, some of you may know Professional Douche. Professional Douche is a mixed figure, I find, on the left sometimes because of his early days as an ANCAP. He
Man,
also
these
was
are
one
some
of the people who was
shitty
fighting,
ass fucking
pretty
enemies to
strongly
fight.
against, police corruption and
What are you doing here, bro?
and for that reason,
What the
was
fuck are you doing here?
I would say, I think he was
More enemies to spawn behind me.
and
Perfect.
a lot of the early people he was talking to were also a lot of
I destroy his
like
fucking body,
around
piece of shit.
ANCAPs, basically libertarians.
Does it just
who,
disappear?
Think that the rights should extend.
Yeah, it
to,
just
I would say,
disappears.
white
Nice.
people. It's usually the ANCAP philosophy. Like, hey, shouldn't everyone be responsible for their own roads, for their own, hospitals, for their own bills? If everyone just took care of themselves, then we wouldn't have such a shitty situation. That's not Professional Douche, by the way. That's ANCAPs and ANCAP theory. But like, they try to parade around as being anarchists because it's got the name in it, right? How can it's anarcho-capitalism? It just flows off the tongue. And it's like, well, that's not actual anarchism. Hierarchies. The onus of the burden of proof on a hierarchy is upon that hierarchy itself to justify. So if a hierarchy is going to have let's just say an undue amount of power, is it justified? Is there a justification for a hierarchy? And that hierarchy, it is the responsibility of that hierarchy to justify itself. That's why within anarchist organizations, you can still have structure. For example, there's still going to be people who are democratically chosen and elected, and they are chosen based on the fact that they can justify their own positions. As in, hey, yes, I'm elected to this position, I'm going to oversee these people because it is a justifiable position that I have within the structure, you know? Anyways, long story short, Professional Douche has also been a fucking lightning rod for just ruining the days of Republicans. It's been beautiful to see for a long time, going to a whole bunch of like Trump rallies and getting people like, my favorite one that he did recently is he went to a Trump rally and he just continuously said that he was there with ideas and that they were just scared of ideas. It was like the thing that Republicans fear the most. And like, it's simple, all right? I'm a simple man sometimes. I just like a simple bit for fucking a routine. Anyways, this one is probably the most intense he's ever done. He snuck into an actual Matt Gaetz fucking full-blown convention with a blow-up doll. And so I haven't seen this yet. I've only seen the viral clips on the TikTok. I haven't seen the whole thing play out, so I'm very excited.
Fresh off of being banned from every Trump event.
I'm asking you to
Perfect.
leave, right? And if you don't, I can go get my law enforcement and we can start talking about trespassing.
But this is a public.
Sir, I'm not getting in this. This is a private event that you are uninvited.
It is no go at any point. I thought to myself, who's next?
Tonight, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is under investigation for alleged sexual misconduct. According to the New York Times, the Justice Department is investigating the Republican representative over claims he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl.
Oh, what movies? This is from 28 Days Later. I wanted to get it before chat did. Yeah.
And paid for her to travel with him. Florida Representative Matt Gaetz, a prominent and
The fuck is that boss name popping up
is demanding answers tonight.
at the top of the screen?
From the New York Times said the Department of Justice is investigating him over whether he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl and paid for her to travel with him.
Despite 2 years of headlines suggesting otherwise, it now seems Congressman Matt Gaetz will not be charged after an investigation into whether the congressman paid for sex.
This one is wild too, by the way. Just the whole fact that Matt Gaetz all of a
Summons
sudden they're like, oh,
five-
we're no longer
summons
investigating that.
life
And I've now
steal.
since seen that they're going to be reopening that, but like
5%
his partner in crime was
of
guilty
base
as fuck.
damage
Holy
dealt.
shit! If you ever wanted someone who like
Wait, what?
by
Summons life
arm's
steal,
length definition,
5%
Matt Gaetz
of
is
base
in a very
damage
bad
dealt,
way.
which returns
the
to
person who you were effectively doing a lot of the
to
shit
the
with
whereas
is basically
health.
pled guilty, not only to this but also some
I guess.
weird-ass
That sounds
cryptocurrency
good.
scams involving utilizing offices for mining and stuff like that.
The then 17-year-old girl.
The House Ethics Committee has reopened their investigation into Matt Gaetz' conduct, even though back in February of this year, the DOJ announced that they would not be bringing any charges against Matt Gates.
After Rod Weber
See,
had a
that's
run
true.
with Ron Dis-
So, Professional Douche has the most like calming voice when introducing these two. After Rob Weber. Rob Weber, also friend of the show. Rob Weber's been one of the people who's been trying to, I think, steer.
Alright,
Professional
see how that
Douche
hell
into,
heals.
leftist circles as well.
Maybe.
So good on you, Rob.
He brought Judy in to troll the snowflake. So I thought to myself, why not use Judy to prove once and for all
My
that
health
Matt
isn't
Gates
healing.
loves underage women. So we're taking off the box.
I think it is. It's a very tiny bit though.
It's important that I get that to my friend Matt in Florida.
No, it's just healing over time by itself.
Dude, Douche is your leftist mafia's new guest. Well, I do have
Yep,
some
from that
exciting
gray
news. I've got
bar.
Professional Douche coming on the show. I think
Um,
maybe sometime next
I don't know
week.
what the
I'm just trying
fuck
to
that
arrange
does.
it in between.
Where's the other one?
He's got some other stuff going on in the background right now, but I'm gonna be interviewing him pretty shortly.
Oh, gray health regeneration. That's what the... Okay, it's my lost health. My temporary lost health. I can get it back if I don't get hit. By 2 per second. Doesn't sound like that much.
I'd like you to meet Judy.
Hell yeah.
It is imperative that I deliver her to my friend Matt in Florida today. The man is a nymph, except the male version of a nymph. And he will not last another day without her.
I got a bunch of loot.
Oh, even blowing it up. Oh, that's a courtesy. Ooh, manually. I'm getting lightheaded just watching this. Honestly, like, you know when you go camping sometimes and then you gotta blow up like an inflatable? Like every single time, like, oh, well, it'll be fine. You know, the 15 minutes I can blow a little air. Then like 5 minutes in, you're like,
We're about halfway there now. Back to work.
yeah, an air pump would have helped out a lot. Or even an electric one.
And finally, we'll drive to Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Are you ready?
Shit.
So is the idea here that technically Judy was only manufactured, I guess, a year or two ago, so it's just like perfectly within Matt Gates' desirability?
All right, let's go.
This is why I blow up all my sex dolls at the local gas station. Can you imagine just sitting there seeing some like dude filling up like 3 or 4 of them? Like, oh no, these aren't for right now. Don't worry, no, this is later. We're having a party. Yeah, no. Trust me, I understand the law. He's also from across state lines. That's true. That's true. Only a couple years old and across from state lines. Great music selection.
Oh, his things. Oh, his blades miss me, but they stick in the ground and explode after. I was wondering what the fuck was hitting me.
She put up with you.
Oh, my daughter's Barbie floating. She's been way too long.
I'm surprised you didn't cover it in anything. You know, you could easily just put it in like a garbage bag or something. Pico finally woke up. The suspense is just too much.
Right. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this looks really tough. I'm gonna straight up say it, because like I've played enough, like, you know, or at least tried to play enough Hitman. I just can't do it. I don't have the patience. Like, there's so many missions where it's like, okay, so you now have to transport the sex doll from this point to this, but now hide it. And now when you hide it, go walk around and act normal. Then come back, grab the sex skull again, now move it to the next position. And then at any point, if you fuck up even ever so slightly, it's like, you know, like I can't do stealth. You never passed the sex doll mission either? It's tough.
Make way! Matt Gates! I got you the underage girl! I got you the underage girl! You can have her! You can have her!
Can you find out who controls the property here, please?
Drum grit.
Can I have my doll back? Stop.
We need to find somebody to
Can I have my doll back? Why not?
Because
why?
Because you can quit asking. And you're, are you getting?
Am I being detained?
You are. Go.
Okay. That was for Matt Gates. That's the underage girl for Matt Gates.
Sorry if it's bothering me.
He's, I mean,
Judy.
Gates, I can't disagree.
They did to my Judy. They ruined her. Matt Gates got a little feisty with that dog. Michael. Picard. P-I-C-A-R-D. Also known as the professional douche. Look me up on Facebook and YouTube.
Nice. Oh, that sounds like a good a time as any to douche and say, hey, if you
excuse me,
subscribe to professional juice for professional douche, but professional douche does have the juice.
Yeah, let me look up the professional douche.
I promise to be really, really good. Can I go back? Pinky swear.
No.
Mom, you're taking away all the fun. Tonight when this guy gets home, he's gonna look up my YouTube channel. Professional douche, remember that, people. This is the most fun. This is the most fun you've had all night.
Stop talking. I mean, you don't have
This is the most fun you've had all night. You're probably not wrong.
to, but I'm really not. Nobody's interested in what you're
I
saying.
am.
Oh, well, yeah, you are.
Does
but
that count?
Not really.
Why not?
So you're your own audience kind of thing.
I wish I had more Facebook followers and YouTube subscribers.
Well, hey, here's a good opportunity once again. If you haven't already
Like and subscribe,
there's
officers.
you know, there's almost 500 people watching. You can easily go subscribe. Give some
This
thumbs
guy
up.
was pretending to want my phone number, but
What
really
the
he
fuck
was
is
looking at
that?
my YouTube. Okay.
I have nowhere else to go. Alright.
Ooh, this is my favorite song. Can we just stay for this? I've been trespassed. Can't come back here for a whole year.
I don't want to figure this shit out. What the fuck is this?
Remember, guys, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, Professional Douche.
Man, I don't feel like I'm just trying to fucking shoot monsters and shit. What the fuck is this, man?
Yes, he does. If you enjoyed.
What mission is this? The segments. The segments plinth
I love that I got
puzzle.
Matt Gates to say something too. Oh, absolutely, it's the snowflake, please. Yeah, right now you're about to see the snowflake, please.
Make way!
What are you doing?
Matt Gates.
What are you
I got you the underage girl. I got you the underage girl.
Oh, that's glorious. That's glorious.
You can have her. You can have her.
Oh, glorious. And yeah, I don't know what's going to come from this whole Matt Gates thing. Let's see if there's any new news. Matt Gates investigation. Oh, wow. So this is still going forward. New story. House Ethics Committee reaching out to witnesses and revived Matt Gates probe. Investigators from the House Ethics Committee have begun reaching out to witnesses as part of the recently revived investigation into Representative Matt Gates of Florida, focused on allegations that he may have engaged in sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, and other misconduct. At least one witness in Florida told CNN they have spoken to investigators about the Republican congressman in recent weeks about the alleged lobbying violations, and other sources familiar with the Ethics Committee probe say other witnesses have been contacted. A source familiar with the House panel's work told CNN that the Justice Department decision not to bring charges against Gates does not impact whether the committee won't investigate. The committee plans to examine the same allegations that were looking into when they opened the investigation in 2021. The Ethics Committee, which at the time controlled by Democrats, originally opened an investigation in 2021, publicly announced that they were examining a range of allegations, including that Gates violated sex trafficking laws, shared inappropriate images on the videos of the House floor, converted campaign funds for personal use, and accepted a bribe, amongst other claims. Gates has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. Gates told CNN on Thursday the investigation is not something I'm worried about because I'm focused on the work. The Ethics Committee typically operates through leaks, and so this is no surprise, but the Ethics Committee
God damn it, it's going to be different for everybody.
Rules, though they've been investigating me during my entire 7 years in Congress. It's also funny that the one guy who doesn't take corrupt lobbying and PAC money seems to be under the most ethics investigation. The committee deferred its investigation at the request of the Justice Department, which was simultaneously probing the allegations. The committee has resumed its work earlier this year, as first reported by Punchbowl News, and the Department of Justice concluded its investigations without bringing charges. The Ethics Committee declined to comment further on the story. And so that's also on ABC News. Health Ethics Committee is reviewing internal interviews, documents, and stuff like that. Daddy can do no wrong. I think Daddy did a lot of wrong.
Lawyers for Congressman Matt Gates say the Justice Department has ended its investigation and he will not be charged. The investigation focused on the Florida...
That's a great one. Multiple witnesses now. Multiple witnesses have been contacted by investigators for interviews and documents as part of the House Ethics Committee recently reopened probe into Representative Matt Gates, where allegations include sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, and potential public corruption, according to the sources. Well done, professional douche. You did a long trip and you went all the way and you did good.
Do you enjoy the SERPs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the
It's in the
solution for you.
fucking
It's
book?
the Swift Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now.
Can I
If you
read the
enjoyed
book
it,
from
please
my
consider
inventory?
leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out apparently, and it's free.
Nope.
Just like the podcast.
Thank you kindly to our Lord and Saviors Peyton L. Hughes and Xander Corbett.
This fucking game. I just wanna play. I just wanna fucking shoot. Why with all these fucking shitty ass puzzles? Why?
Izzy Solidarity, La Media Panza, Matthew Scarborough, Multimondi, Metal.
Alright, let's go get the fucking
White 185.
book is right here. God damn it.
Roller Dragon, Kubi, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian Dimmel.
Blue. Okay.
Lucid Dream,
Is there anything else? Another secret color?
Alvarez, Tony Perkins, Thomas, O'Pecker.
I'll read all that.
Victoria,
Blue.
Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to all the other people who made
So we
this
got
entire
blue,
show
where's the blue blanket?
If you can support us, please go to patreon.com/the
We got the triangle and the circle penetration. We got the smiley face. We got smiley face penetration. Smiley face penetration, goatsy.
You go home to visit your parents for the holidays. Your father is reclined on a
Smiley face
lazy boy watching a cable TV movie on his smart TV that's made by a brand you've never even heard of.
Come on, bro, jump over the fucking rock!
16:9 aspect ratio, the TV is blowing it out to be cinematically hot dog. Also, it looks like a soap opera running at Counter-Strike frame rate because of the motion smoothing option that's forced on by default. You look down and see two remotes sitting on the coffee table. One for the cable TV box molded by a brontosaurus during the Paleolithic cave time era, and one for the...
What's with this
Rosen
fucking
smart
memory
TV.
shit,
You
man? I
attempt
just
to
want to play
explain
the
to your
fucking
father how you can
game.
potentially
Jesus
fix all these
Christ.
issues using the two remotes or do you choose
I
to
gotta
say
go up
nothing
there
at
and
all?
see the
Both of
fucking.
these options will end horribly.
I'm gonna forget what the fuck I saw down here by the time I go up there to remember the ones I saw down here.
We don't even.
God damn it!
What we would be without the technology to check our emails or watch our ASMR slime videos or listen to our AI procedurally generated crypto podcast called Crypto Crunk. How to wear a Patagonia vest or die trying.
Yeah,
But
I gotta
unfortunately,
run all the
technology
fucked away
is not
around here.
created equally for every
No, I
beautifully
can't.
engineered Game Boy Advance SP that's still 20 years later. There's something much more
Great,
dark.
fucking love running around aimlessly.
Shadows. Soldier game handheld. You know, some people invent the telephone, and some other people invent
Not even a
device
fucking
that you plug into
shortcut.
your computer that farts out smells depending on what you're looking at. That was real. It's called the DigiSense I Smell, which is what someone asks their friends after a date. Did she sense I smell? And sometimes companies put out faulty garbage just to try to make as much money as quickly as possible and don't really care and say we do not care. You know, in order to get good laptops, maybe a couple of them gotta blow up. You know, in order to get good smartphones, maybe a couple of them gotta blow up. You know, but even if your everyday technology isn't blowing up, it can still kind of be a piece of shit. Smart TVs are super common and cheap now, which on the one hand is awesome. You know, everyone from Joe Schmo to Joe Millionaire can
There's
afford
the
to have
last
access
blue.
to thousands
All
of
right.
hit prestige television series such as Joe Millionaire. What the hell is going on here? But the reason these smart TVs cranked out by brands you've never even heard of like Roku or Hayabusa are so dirt cheap is because the processors they use are made out of dirt cups. You know, the child's dessert with pudding and gummy worms. That's what's powering your TV. If you've ever wondered why there's a 49-second input delay between hitting a button and something actually happening on the screen, and why the on-screen keyboard feels like medieval ball torture, it's because the dirt cup is on a hamster wheel and he is losing his mind. Thank you, dirt cup. Please don't just stay alive until I finish Succession. Also, smart TVs are so cheap because they sell a shit ton of ad space right on your home screen for cool stuff like Wendy's or Punk'd Season 2 presented by Verizon, or a separate Roku streaming device to plug into your Roku TV and your Roku pajamas in your Roku house with your Roku spouse and a Roku blouse, while your Roku cat named Cole Sprouse gets pounced by a Roku mouse who's gonna douse your house. I have a pretty nice ass TV. I know, YouTuber moment, this ball is full of nickels, but I'll never tell you the code. It's an LG OLED and the picture
Can't
is
see the
literally
fucking
amazing.
color.
Color
God damn
definition
it.
and clarity, it's awesome. But even this expensive ass TV comes preloaded with shit like True Motion and sharpness.
forgot what
cranked
ones I
all the
saw
way
down
up.
there.
And the UI and UX are still awful. And depending on your smart TV's interface, you might have to decrypt an entire ancient alien civilization's lore entry. in
It's
order
like
to
this
navigate
game
the settings
forgot
to turn all
about
this shit
solo
off.
players
Okay,
when
but
they
here's
were
a
making
genius
it.
idea. Hear me out. What if we put a
Because
smart
this is
TV
definitely going to be co-op activity,
systems,
like
which
telling your
infotainment
friends
being
what
the
you see
combination of
downstairs
which
so they
info
can
and
put it in up here.
Pretty great dia.
But I'm
Great
fucking
dia,
by
but
my
the
fucking
combination of
self.
those great and
The fuck you want me to do? Take pictures or take notes like a fucking nerd? Like I'm doing goddamn homework? The fuck is this? How the fuck am I supposed to remember all this shit?
But in practice, much like smart TVs, a lot of these infotainment systems have dirt cup brain and horrible input delay and faulty touchscreens that are also often essential to
I just
mess
wanna
with
play the
crucial stuff
goddamn
like climate
game.
control, which makes even trying to turn on the air conditioning whilst driving a crazy distraction and safety hazard because now you
Even
have to
if
look
I
at what you're
remember
doing
them when I
instead of
get
having
up
the
there,
muscle
I have to
memory of
enter them in the
physical
right
buttons
order
or
too.
knobs to mess with.
Or I don't know if there is a right
One
order.
for hot or cold, one for power level, ranging from faint whisper to jet engine time machine. Get one to decide how you want to get blasted. Like, do you only want nipples or do you want feet play too? You can do
Can I
both.
take
You can
pictures
actually
in
do
game or
both. I think
something?
even as touchscreens in cars slowly get better with stuff like Apple CarPlay, you should still always have actual physical buttons for the crucial
This is
stuff.
giving me a
if
fucking
only
headache.
For the safety of yourself and others around you, and that is a Safety Jakey moment brought to you by Extreme Cliff Diving. Everybody stop what you're doing. This guy owes me money and I'm pressing charges. Hi, I'm Jakey, and Jakey, attorneys at law. You wanna know what's crappy technology? Monthly subscriptions that you didn't even realize you were still paying for. Well, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. This personal finance app allows you to manage subscriptions, lower bills, build a custom budget, and grow your savings.
Can I please
all in
just
one
jump
place.
back
I
up
use Rocket
there?
Money to find dumbass recurring charges and cancel subscriptions, all without ever having to speak to a single person on the phone, which is great because I am terrified of humans. I also use Rocket
So
Money
now that
to
I
help
know
lower
this
my
one is
bills by
blue, it's
uploading a
just
picture of them
triangle.
tapping a single
I
button.
gotta
And
remember
Rocket
the
Money
triangle,
negotiates
the
my bill
penetration.
for me. Using Rocket Money to set budgets and monitor my spending
Genius
every month
fucking
for
puzzle
years
design,
straight,
just
because while I
make
am
me
terrified
remember
of
back
humans,
and forth and
I
fuck
can't
up over
stop
and over
buying them
again.
gifts.
So
And
much
Rocket Money
fun,
helps
yeah!
me when I have gone
Losing my
way
goddamn
over my
mind.
gift budget. To save more and spend less, join the 3.4 million members using Rocket Money. We've got the hookup. Go to rocketmoney.com/NakeyJakey or click the link in the description to get started for free or unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/NakeyJakey to get started for free. Get your money right. Okay, back to you, Techie Jackie. Embarrassing little brother moment over here. So what's going on? What's good with you guys? Now, I don't know about y'all, but I swear to God that everything in my life constantly needs an update. Phone, laptop, Windows 10, Adobe Premiere, Discord, Steam, game console games, smart TV apps. Every game launcher known to man is in a constant state of updating. Why the hell are you gonna sell a game on Steam if it's just gonna require me to sign into another launcher or stupid DRM anyways? What the fuck is the point of buying it on Steam? My girlfriend's cat's litter robot has Wi-Fi to get updates. Gabi's litter box must update to version firmware 1.87 so that her turds can voice chat with other cats' turds. Why is modern tech always trying to get rid of time-tested stuff like physical buttons? What the hell is wrong with buttons? Oh, you want to turn off your PS4? Gently place your finger on this Sony clitoris and wait for something to hopefully happen. Apple loves getting rid of not only buttons, but doing all sorts of dumb shit. F your buttons, okay? Here's a tiny touchscreen. It can do cool stuff like simulate buttons.
Got the penetration, smile, the goatee, and what else?
Reader or an HDMI cable? Yeah, that's not, we don't make those anymore. Port machine broke. We only got USB-C. Guess you got an SMIB till I Z. Well, they ditched the touch bar and brought back standard ports and MagSafe charging on the new MacBooks and they're way better again? What the hell? But Microsoft, no. They've never made anything back. Why are you guys looking at me like that? Is there something behind? Oh my God. Controversial take. I had a Zune. And I actually kind of liked it. Don't get me wrong, it did not feel cool to use compared to the iPod. Like, I never let anyone see it, but...
Oh my God, I have to put it in a specific fucking order! Why?
To kids.
Why?
Internet Explorer, Clippy, Windows Vista, Bing. There's a lot of things Microsoft has made over the years that I would certainly deem crappy, but the launch Xbox 360 was practically made.
I'm gonna start from the penetration because that was the very first one.
The failure rate of the original Xbox 360 is 54.2%.
That was the very first one in the corner over there.
For comparison, the launch PS3's failure rate is 10.6%, and I was actually
over
part of that
here is
percentage.
the
I got the
smiley
faded yellow light
face.
of death after I played Uncharted 3 for 11 hours straight. But then I found out you could take it apart and actually put your motherboard in the oven and bake it because I guess it resolders some shit at a certain temperature. I don't really know what happened in there. It's above
That's
my
the same
pay grade,
order
but
I did it last time. Let me try
And
reverse.
that's how I played GTA 5. And even if consoles don't break as much now, the controllers certainly
So,
will. Oh my God. I have two
penetrate.
PS5 controllers. Both of them have stick drift and just kind of do whatever the hell they
Smiley
want. Eddie
face.
Burback, fellow Yoga Ball mustache gamer, has 3 PS5 controllers. All of his also have stick drift. Both of my Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons have stick drift. Why is the sensor bar required to boot into GameCube games on the Wii?
God.
You're not even use the fucking Wiimote. Did you know you can use a candle as a sensor bar because it's just another
I
infrared
fucking
source?
hate the
I learned
puzzles
that when
in
I
this
wanted to play
game.
Double Dash and my cousin's rabbit chewed
And
the
it's
cable from my
randomized, so I
sensor
can't
bar.
even
And
look
every
it up
time
and
I
just
wanted to
get
boot up a
past it
GameCube
and
game,
back to
I
the
would just
fucking
do a little
action.
seance and then play Double Dash with
I
the
have
Demon
to
King
solve it on
Paint.
my
One
own.
of the worst controllers I have ever had the pleasure of using, though, were for the Ouya. Or, sorry, the Ouya. My brother got an Ouya after supporting the Kickstarter, and man, this thing brought a lot of joy into our home, but not for the reasons I think it intended. Ouya was like the smart TV of consoles, just a shitty little dirt cup in a plastic box. The controller, oh my God, not only did it just feel like you were committing a
I'm not reading
sinful
that
act,
fucking book.
Like, just by holding it,
I'm
it was
done
like a
picking up
felony
and reading
somehow.
shit
But
in
even
fucking
on the slim
video
chance it would
games.
actually connect with its horrible Bluetooth, The plastic faceplates would
I want
just
you to
like
pick up and read every
decide to
goddamn
come
piece
off
of literature
sometimes.
you
When
come
we were all
across.
living in Denver, any weekend
Listen to
we
every
didn't have
fucking
plans.
piece of
My
dialogue.
brother or his girlfriend would
So
be
you
like,
can know every single
I mean,
goddamn
there's
thing
a
about the
Ouija in
fucking mission and
garage.
what you're doing.
You know, we could watch.
You
season
better
one
read through and
Heroes
listen to everything. You might miss one useful
What else?
fucking hint.
Twitter, that's crappy technology, especially with everything going on right now, and especially the Twitter video player has always been a piece of shit. At this point, just burn it all, though. Anything crypto or NFT related, that's crappy technology, or at the very least, please don't talk to me about it at a party technology. Multiplayer shooters that don't let you vote for the next map after a match, that's crappy technology. Reddit, I refuse to download the
You
app
just
when I
start
just want to
putting
read a
in
quick
random
how-to guide on a
putting
web
it in a
browser.
random
Please stop.
order.
It's not ever gonna happen. Why the fuck do some planes have the controls for the TV on the armrest? Like, my giant ass barely fits on these planes, and now I have to worry about pausing my neighbor's viewing of flight every 5 seconds, which is a weird choice for a plane movie, by the way. And the air conditioning situation on planes, oh my god, dude, not trying to be dramatic, but I've been on several flights recently where I have been like ungodly levels of hot, like actually sweating, my like sweat pouring down, like it's disgusting. One time I asked the flight attendant, hey, could you like turn up the AC or do something about it? We're all really hot back here. And they were like, oh, sorry, because you're in the middle of the plane, it's just an airflow thing. And if we turn up the AC first class, they're gonna get too cold. Sorry. Like, we are having this conversation in the sky right now, and the guy next to me is watching Flight on a plane, and you're telling me that air conditioning isn't possible. I don't know who to blame for that, but that's crappy technology. What do you think is crappy technology? I'm genuinely curious to know. Did you think, was this video crappy technology? Did I edit it poorly? Did your phone fucking blow up while you were watching it? Let me know down in the trademark YouTube comments, and if you want to see more of me, listen to more of me talk, check out Jaquan the Jequel or Nakey Jakey Instagram or Nakey Jakey Twitter if it doesn't fucking burn down. Or Nakey Jakey was takey on TikTok, because I'm probably gonna start shit posting slime videos. But thanks for watching my video.
Penetration, smiley.
A quick message to all the companies and CEOs who are against
Goatsy.
the SAG and WGA strikes.
And the other.
Pay your workers.
Jesus
Now,
fucking Christ!
on
What
to
the
the
fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Pay your against the SAG and WGA strikes. Pay your workers.
God damn, bro, what the fuck was that? Fucking jump scared my goddamn ears? Get the fuck out of here, man. Not even watching your shit because of that. Fucking dumbass.
It's really amazing. I think, you know, some people could write it off to Ron DeSantis
shitty-ass
is
fucking mic screaming in my
just a
goddamn
very
ear.
unlikable guy, which I think is a legit response. But I think it also speaks to the attachment that the Republican Party has to any type of issue set. It all just seems like backfilling on some level. And to be clear, there's specific types of backfilling that work for the Republican Party.
Yeah.
But it does not feel like there is any sort of like attachment to an issue set. It really is just sort of more like own the libs and do it in a fun way, not in a I don't even know how to really interpret this here. Pop
With
this,
memes.
yeah, memes and just sort of like jokes, more jokes. This is really amazing. If you look here, Trump 54%, DeSantis 17%, and then Pence, Scott, Haley, Vivek sounds like cake, and Christie sounds like
have some fun. I'll see you at the trail.
Yeah, as Trump calls him, fat slob. That's who he was calling him over the weekend. Again, you know, Chris Christie is.
Christie sounds like pisty,
Yeah.
twisty, whatever. I'm not gonna rap.
Christie is a candidate for you know, never Trump Republicans, all 7 of them, and for like the liberals who are watching cable news to enjoy having a Republican attacking him.
We should say that even in a head-to-head matchup, it's something like 64. I had it right here. It was something like 64 what was a head-to-head matchup?
Mr. Trump was far ahead of Mr.
Yeah,
DeSantis.
they didn't. I don't think they gave a specific number, but it was. I don't. 62. Oh, I'm sorry. 62 to 31%. In a hypothetical 1-to-1, and that's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, you're gonna need to.
And it's not. Let's be clear. It's not like people need to. If they found out something new about Donald Trump, that support would go away. If what we have seen over the past, I don't know what that noise was, but if what we've seen over the past has been indicative of it all, every time DeSantis introduces himself to another person, there's like a 50% chance that person's not going to like him at all. Never mind, like he's losing support the more he campaigns. So in a hypothetical 1-to-1 matchup, the best you could expect him to do, I think, is 62 to 31%. I got to figure it's more like 75 to 15% by the time that. But those people are not going to drop out.
No.
Chris Christie's not in the race because he thinks he can win. None of these people are in the race because they think they want to be on the stage and get some points so that Chris Christie can get hired somewhere, and Vivek can go back and start his rap career.
Yeah.
And not have it be in the rear view mirror. I don't know. He really inspired me.
Going
But let's pop up the other one on the different ways in which because he loses to Trump. Strong leader, gets things done, able to be fun, likable, moral. Do we have one that breaks down the
we could just keep
the
scrolling.
issues as well?
Yeah.
Because the issues is really what does it. I mean, look, here's the way. Go back to that one. The fun. That's the one that they care about.
Fun, exactly.
So DeSantis wins on. I don't know how he wins on likable. That's weird. GOP voters, I don't think understand what people find likable, but also moral. DeSantis wins.
I mean, Trump is
I think they are
infinitely more
talking about to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're wrong.
Oh no, they're wrong.
They're wrong.
But they're projecting in that instance, right?
That's why they don't understand the world.
They like Trump.
Yeah.
They obviously like Trump. I mean, and maybe likable is just like you're too soft. It's another way of saying too soft.
Well, the other quotes in there show that essentially, like, they like DeSantis, but the core of it is that we've seen Trump do it. I mean, there are quotes in there from people saying, like, DeSantis has done this, but on a much smaller scale, and one of that was from a Republican from Florida. But it's so much about voting in the primaries. Can you envision a guy as president? And Trump's already been president, and they love him. So that's it.
Fifth up from there, right there. In the head-to-head matchup, Mr. Trump was far ahead of Mr. DeSantis among Republicans who accept transgender people as the gender they identify with, and among those who do not. So in other words, regardless of where you are as a Republican on the issue of whether transgender people should be allowed to exist, despite the fact that Ron DeSantis would have you believe that he has spent a lifetime, thinking about these issues and talking about them. No Republicans prefer DeSantis on that issue. Among those who want to fight corporations that promote woke left ideology, and of course, DeSantis is famous for saying the word woke. In fact, I think he has said it more times than maybe the rest of the world combined. And among those who prefer to stay out of what businesses do, Trump wins. In other words, on both sides of that issue. Among those who want to send more military and economic aid to Ukraine, and among those who do not, Trump wins. Among those who want to keep Social Security and Medicare benefits as they are, Trump wins. Among those who want to take steps to reduce Social Security and Medicare benefits to reduce the deficit, which it wouldn't do, incidentally, Trump also wins. In other words, there's not a single issue in which Ron DeSantis, and so the point is that this Republican electorate, and I don't know what it's going to look like
Man,
in 4
what
years.
fucking
if Donald
order
Trump
am I
is not
supposed to
running
put this
again.
shit? Let me try.
But this Republican electorate, they have become
Penetration,
completely
goatee,
unmoored and
smile, and the
untethered
last one.
from any type of issues. It is all backfilling. It is all like hobby and backfilling to support Trump. That's it. Period. End of story. They project onto Trump everything they want that is there. It completely is consistent. And if you look at, like, they don't like DeSantis, they won't vote for DeSantis, even though he's more likable and more moral, according to their polling. Like, if you wanted to create a composite sketch of an authoritarian, not the authoritarian leader, but an authoritarian follower, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what issues I personally, as a follower, care about. Doesn't matter if I'm for or against any of the things that have been talked about in that campaign. I like Trump better. I don't.
He's dead.
DeSantis is likable, but he's not a strong leader.
Yep.
And he's not fun to follow.
I'd go to the, anti-woke cookout with him, but do I want him to lead the free world? Probably not. That's basically like what it is.
Well, do I want him to be my leader?
Right.
At the end of the day. And
it's really amazing how he's also just dropped like a stone since he's announced as well. The more people see of him, the more they don't like him or see him as presidential in that way.
Trump leads DeSantis among Republicans who believe abortion should always be legal, and among those who believe it should always be illegal. Both. DeSantis signed a strict 6-week abortion ban Trump has criticized as too harsh, yet Trump enjoyed the support of 70% of Republicans who said they strongly supported such a measure.
Yeah, it's cool when I do it.
It's fascinating, and the real question for me, well, once you get past 2024, and who knows what happens there, but what comes out of this mess, like the critique I think that you would hear from ideologues in the context of the Democratic Party, which is you're too quick to sell out your issue sets and vote for a Democrat who's not going to provide those. I mean, I think that's just a sort of a generic, secular, if you will, critique. There's no way to even make the critique like that within the Republican Party now. There is no.
Okay, I was putting it in on the wrong side of the dial.
The litmus test is: are you Donald Trump or not? And then that's it. And I mean, their platform, again, in 2020, was
whatever he says.
Whatever he says.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what they wrote, practically. All right. In a moment, we're going to talk to Marone Rappaport about local editor of Local Call and writer at 972 Magazine about what is going on in Israel, both from the perspective of Netanyahu's government, assault on an independent judiciary, the protests, are they putting two and two together and realizing that when you have authoritarian...
The fuck is this?
Racist, nationalist, and fundamentalist leadership, they don't just come for the Palestinian rights, they start coming for everybody's rights. And also this cockamamie idea floated by Thomas Friedman that apparently had some people in the White House thinking about like this big multilateral deal to finally get, Middle East
Colquitt's
peace.
razor.
We'll get to that in a moment.
Nice. Anything else want to pop up? Luke, thank you. What's that mutator for? Melee? Oh, it is. You got another power. Become nearly unstoppable, gaining 3 stacks of bulwark. 15% increased movement speed and melee speed. 50% increased melee damage. I'll keep the War Stomp. And just jump off? Nope. Alright. Take a walk. So it's generally gonna bounce around the area that I'm in. Gotta stay around the ball if I'm gonna shoot it. Oh shit, where do I go? Can't go in there? Guess not yet. Let's go teleport. Or not. Can I just teleport to the World Stone? Pan cursor toggle. What happened to the cursor? They took away the cursor for console. What the fuck? God damn it! Fine. Let's finish checking this area out before we go into some more goddamn puzzles. What is this? Yeah, I can't do any of that. We got a boss up ahead. All right. Any little goodies down here? Alright, let's get a real boss fight. Give me some fun melee shit. All of these goddamn magic spamming projectiles and shit. Fucking weird rock cubes. Oh, fuck. I'll get in there. What the fuck is this shit? Oh, all behind me. Genius. Wow. Great combat design. Just spam enemies behind me. Great. Genius. What the fuck? Bro! How many fucking more are you there behind me? God damn, why the fuck didn't you show up earlier? Oh, get the fuck out of here, pussy. Damn. Yeah, these enemies are really easy. The game would be more fun if they wouldn't fucking spam enemies behind me and constantly spawn enemies that just throw projectiles that auto hit if you try to sprint away. It would be much more fun without all that shit. And these stupid ass fucking puzzles too. course. Oh, fuck. Fuck is this thing? Shit. Hold on, come near the bolt. Shit. How the fuck? What's his weakness? Probably gotta shoot him from behind. Of course, pussy's shooting me from the background. A part of every epic boss fight. Can't have an epic boss fight without fucking little dipshits shooting you from the background. Okay. Alright, you dipshits can meet me over here. Come on. Asshole. Fuck you. Oh, fuck. I was just using my health. Where was I at? Over there. Oh, my favorite part where everybody spawns behind me. Nice. I just run. Who the fuck? Y'all are way too fast. The fuck? Oh, great! An army of shooters behind me, and they summon them from in front of me, and they summon them from behind me too. An army of shooters in front of me, and they summon them from behind me too. Great combat! So much fun. Constantly have to spin my fucking camera 360 goddamn degrees to see every single thing around me 24 fucking 7. Real goddamn fun. Back the fuck up. That's some more surprise spawns from the side over here. Many more surprises. Where the fuck you come from? That's it? Got a temple key. Probably gotta open that other door with that. The fuck? Jesus fucking Christ, it starts. Launcher guy? Root rot? How do I fix this? Still have it. I gotta have something to fix this. Yeah, whatever. Didn't I just kill you, bro? This root rod's really fucking me up. God damn it. Oh no, boss. Fuck, I'm out. Run, bro! Run! Come on, get near this. Oh, where's his weak spot? Run! It's a fucking root rod! Fuck, man. Root rod hits me one time and I'm fucking done for. I don't feel like playing this shit.